Hello and welcome to Build Up to a Good Game. Kick-off an hour and 5 minutes away as West Ham United take on Brentford in what is a pivotal game for manager David Moyes. Line-up officially is 5 minutes away. I'm going to drop a couple of teasers on Gonzo in just a second, though. But before we do that, Gonzo, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. How about you?
Good. I'm all stressed. My light's playing up, as you know. I'm getting a bit of stress. If I go dark in the next minute or something, I'll try and get it back on. I got a new light and Technology.
Let's hope David Moyes has seen a light, Geo, eh?
I've seen somebody say giving Moyes Paqueta as like giving my nan Sky Q. I'm trying to watch her use it.
I was having a right old chuckle. Just sometimes you think, I wish I'd have thought of that. But absolutely right, isn't it? He just doesn't know what to do. It is like your nan with Sky Q. Honestly, Moyes is must be looking at his player thinking, I don't know what to do. Can you... Like you with your light. That's like Moyes absolutely.
I wonder if the nan threw the Sky Key box out the window because they come out even touching anything. It's just got mind of its own. Anyway, would you like a bit of a tease?
I always like a bit of a tease, Gio, as long as I can back it up at the end.
Would you like a bit of a tease about personnel or the other thing?
What do you mean the other thing?
There's another thing. There's two teasers for you.
Oh, right. Let's go with the other. That's intrigued me. I got to go with the other thing.
All right. We've changed formation. 3 at the back tonight.
Okay. Well, do you know what? He had to do something. I don't.
He's definitely doing something. I'll tell you.
Okay. It's funny actually because I always think of a tease as being a good thing. But I guess you can have a bad tease, can't? Yeah. Yes. Someone could just offer you something you don't get it, which is a bit of a tease, isn't it?
Yeah,
we're talking about football formations here.
Yeah, we are. He's gone with 3 at the back or 5 at the back, depending on how you look at it, and I guess how much you like the manager or not.
We hate it.
But we've changed formation. You know what's my biggest frustration with this is I actually get why he's doing it to accommodate Brentford's attack, but there's a possibility Brentford also might change formation as well, which would then make us look a little bit silly, really. But my biggest frustration is it's got to this point before he's gone, do you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to change stuff up. It's like, why have you waited until you've had to get ratty with journalists in your press conferences before you've had to bake up your relationship with David Sullivan and tell people to mind their own business and tell them that the sources are wrong? It's had to get to that before you go, I might try something a bit different today. You know, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. But you have to do something, I guess, which is funny, really, because he said in his press conference yesterday, I'm going to do the same thing that we've been doing all this time, trying to win the game. Well, you're not really, are you? You've changed formation for the start, and he's also changed some personnel. Now, this is unofficial. The lineups are out in about a minute, so we'll find out. But it's believed that the formations are wrong, and the formations changed. And that's never been wrong. The information we've got before the kickoff has never been incorrect before. So,
no. Well, he's got to make special provisions for Ivan Toney, hasn't he? Because he's certainly been accumulating some goals this season, Toney, and I wouldn't mind betting he'll be punting one in at some point today. So you've got to do something about it, Gio.
Yes. Anyway, before we get into the official lineups, this video is in collaboration with BetMate. When the West Ham teams come out and you fancy a little bit of fancy league where you can win cash prizes, then BetMate is the app for you. The link is in the description below. It's 6 or 5 side football. You only pick players from the West Ham Brentford game. It costs £3 to enter, but hold on a minute. If you use the code HC10, you get £10 credit, which will give you £7 leftover lolly for the Leeds game in a couple of days' time. And in our presence in approximately half an hour, we will have Charlie Walsh, and he's going to tell us his team. And he won money in the last game. Charlie won the first time he's ever played it, and he scooped some money in the Arsenal game. So if you fancy getting involved, link in description. And Gonzo, would you fancy the West Ham team?
Would I
fancy knowing the West Ham team?
I would, so as I can alter my my fantasy football team on BetMate, basically. Yes, tell me the team, please.
3 at the back tonight. In goal is Lucas Fabianski. Back 3 is Craig Dawson, Angelo Ogbonna, and Aaron Creswell. Right wing back is Vladimir Soufal. Left wing back is Emerson. Declan Rice partners Paqueta in centre midfield with Said Benrahma and Jared Bowen playing off Gianluca Scamacca up front.
Well, fancy that. Let me just digest that a second. Okay, so he's dropped Souček.
Yeah, Souček is on the bench.
Good.
Actually, yeah, he is. He's on the bench. Checking
Good.
he's actually there.
Good. There's two things I didn't think he'd switch formation. I didn't think he'd drop Souček. 8 passes in the last game is not good enough. And do you know what? He plays him as a defender. He might as well just pick a defender, which is what he's done, rather than sort of muck up the passing in the middle. That's going to be interesting in central midfield. Really interesting, actually. Yeah, it'd be very, very funny to see how that plays out. Really big game for Emerson today, by the way. So there's a lot of onus on him to provide some width there. Got to put crosses over when you're playing wing back. I really would like to get a supply line into Scamacca. I really would. I would expect to see Bowen quite close to Scamacca in this game, actually. And maybe wouldn't surprise me if Ben Rama's a little bit more central, almost like the Ben Rama is behind Scamacca.
Yeah. We've seen this in European football, haven't we? Where this front three, or certainly the first couple of games, it was Scamacca, Ben Rama, and Cornet in the first couple of group stage Conference League games, and they were a front three, and usually it was Scamacca plus one of them, and the other one would drop into almost the number 10 role to help out in midfield as and when required, if necessary, which I think they will be tonight. So I agree with you. I think we'll see Ben Rama quite central and Jarrod Bowen almost as a second striker in possession, out of possession. I imagine you'll get out on the touchline, start running back after Rico Henry. But I was surprised. I have to say, I was surprised when I saw the team and I saw the formation. Bonner's a big call to bring back in, big opportunity for him. Without seeing the Brentford team, I'll get to that in a minute. I don't know it. I'm a bit wary of Dawson on the right of a back three is probably an opportunity for Brentford to get at there and try and get Ivan Toney one-on-one with him. Bold in centre midfield, Vice Paqueta could easily get overrun, but he's doing something. I will say fair play to him because he's at least trying something different. He's got a lot of his new signings in there. There's a couple on the bench as well, which we'll get to. He's trying something. The last thing I wanted to see was for us to do the 4-2-3-1 formation and get beat tonight, because I'd sit here saying, well, why has he done that? Why has he done the same thing again? We're so predictable. Well, actually, for the first time this season, I think Moyes has actually been unpredictable here. And it's bold, it's brave. That's a brave centre midfield partnership. I would have been, if you told me we're going to play 30 back and Souček's going to get dropped, I would have thought, well, Flynn Downs is going to come in then and play next to Declan Rice to then leave Ben Rama and Bowen up front alongside Scamacca. That's under the right manager, that's an attacking lineup. Under the right manager with the right philosophy and the way you play, it's just a case of, are we then going to play attacking football? Because if we are, that team's capable of it. Like you said, Emerson's capable of good delivery. Soufal is. Scamacca's a good striker. Ben Rama are capable of scoring and creating. Paqueta should be capable of getting involved. A defensive role for Declan Rice, of course. So back to old school Declan, but I don't see that as a bad thing either. I'm looking forward to it, actually. I think, do you know something? This has injected a bit of enthusiasm into me for this game. I'm now looking forward to this game a bit more than I was.
Me too. I was looking forward to it anyway, as you know, when we spoke this morning. But it's given Thomas Frank something to think about, and that's the thing. I had a conversation today with somebody, and David Moyes was very keen to keep the news of who had travelled to Udinese a secret. And sort of looking at it, and I was having a chat about it. But why would he do that? It was a friendly, and it's not like there's any surprises anyway. The last person to be surprised by David Moyes' team is the opposition manager, and this has done that. This has given him something of a surprise. He's gonna look. He might be so confident in his own team, his own ability, and his own system that he changes nothing. And it doesn't necessarily mean that Frank changes his shape. But he will have to give people different instructions. So there will be, the last hour will be a little bit hurried of him turning around. Okay, that thing we discussed and we trained for, that's not going to happen. You're doing that. You're now marking him. It'll be a bit, not panicked, but he won't get the sort of easy last hour in the dressing room that he normally would have, where they can just do their normal preparation. I would imagine Frank and his coaching team be running around with the clipboard, the iPad, or whatever it is, just making sure, running through things. This is what you have to do, even if it's just a small advantage, you keep people on their toes. And the other thing is, he's dropped not just Souček, but he's dropped Kehrer, who I presume is on the bench. Okay.
Yeah. We'll get on the bench in a minute.
So, that's a good thing as well, because he had to do something. It obviously can't drop everybody. And there were plenty of people at fault for plenty of stuff against Arsenal. But to drop Kehrer and Souček was the right thing to do, because there were two people you could have picked out. One for just generally playing badly throughout the whole game, and one for a whopper of a mistake, really. So I think it's the right thing to do. And I wonder if you're just looking at Ogbonna and thinking, bear in mind we're going to sit deep. Bearing in mind you've got defensive cover either side of you. Are you going to do any worse than Kehrer was going to do in there anyway? And he's probably looking at it thinking, no, you won't. He's putting a little bit of trust in him, but he has to put trust in someone at some point. And why not?
And Ogbonna's never let him down. Ogbonna, for a long, long time, in different periods as well, has been our best centre-back. And when he's got injured, we've fell apart a little bit and the clean sheets have dried up. So he's there on merit. Ogbonna's in that team on merit, really, not because it is a bit desperate, but it's also because of what we can do. Before we do the bench, thank you, JP, for the £2 super chat. Says, are you glad not going to matches as we're so crap? And then also Chris, who probably summarises up the live chat at the minute, says, can't believe he's finally listened, slightly more defensive than we asked for, but at least it's a compromise with what he wants to do. And what we can all see is wrong. It does feel a bit like that, doesn't it? A bit of a compromise.
Well, it's like he's noticed something's wrong now, finally. And listen, we can talk about another time, wasted time, if this is the formation, this is the way he wants to go. He's just had a really good opportunity to start drilling the players in this. But look, better late than never. It's admission, I think, that things are not going right and he needs to change things. And it was the desperation that I wanted to see from him that he was going to change his job. That he was going to lose his job, so he wanted to stop that from happening. This is a reaction which he wanted to see.
Irish Thomas says, happy to see a change of formation and Souček drop, but it will still come down to intent. You can be positive or negative and win or lose in any formation. Amen. Right, I'm going to rattle through the West Ham bench, then we'll get straight onto the Brentford team. It's an experienced bench for the Hammers tonight. We've got Areola as well as Ben Johnson, Pablo Fornals, Michael Antonio, Manuel Lanzini, Flynn Downs, Thomas Souček. We've got Nathan Guerd on the bench too, as well as Tila Kehrer. So a very experienced defence on there. Not loads of attacking options, but plenty of experience.
Well, I'm pleased to see a Gerd back as well. There's a little bit of a worry there. We all get worried that he's going to be injured again. But actually, it just turned out that it was not the injury. He got a virus. He lost his appetite because of the virus, and he was trying to get some food down him, and actually he's put on some weight in the last couple of days, exactly the same time when Maxwell Cornet's gone missing, so I can only assume that a Gerd's eaten Cornet.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. He's off to France to see a specialist now, Cornet, so he's not going to be around anytime soon. Right, let's take a look at the Brentford team, who have made, I believe, one change. Yeah, I'm pretty certain they have. They've made one change from the draw against Tottenham. In goal is Rhea, as always, with their back three of Zanka, Ben-Mee and Pinnock. They've got Roslev on right wing-back duty with Rico Henry playing left wing-back, while Norgard sits in front of the defence. Jensen is in midfield, while Da Silva comes into midfield. He didn't start against Spurs, but he comes in here for Janelt. And then they've also got Tony and Emblemo up front. So they're sticking with their formation, and we're going toe-to-toe, really. Possibly slightly different because they play three centre midfielders, but we're both playing wing backs and three centre backs. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting, mate. Going to be bringing Da Silva back. I picked him out in the build up, in the preview. I do like him. I think he's a good player. They're a good team. They're a really, really good team. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, what they consider to be a good result. They don't know how long they're going to be losing Tony for, I guess. So they'll want to sort of make hay while the sun shines, while they've got that striker, and he's in imperious form. He really is. Then I can't imagine they'll be coming and playing for a draw or anything like that. I think they'll be coming to win. And obviously he's got the better of Moyes, hasn't he? Let's be fair. They beat us twice last season, didn't they? So I think he'll be going for it again. It's very complimentary, Frank, about David Moyes. I was watching the Frank press conference. He was saying, "No, I think David Moyes needs to stay in that job. I think David Moyes should keep his job." I thought, "I bet you bloody do, mate. Yeah, stay there, keep him there for as long as possible." This is going to be really interesting, and it's high time that David Moyes got one over someone like this. And I think we've seen it too many times where people get the better of Moyes and they sort of suss him out tactically, and then he's just there for the taking. You can just rinse and repeat. And so this would be really good for more, not just the club, not just for us, not just for everybody that's gone to the game tonight, the players' morale, but for Moyes as well. I'll give Moyes a little bit of belief. And actually, I want to see some reward from Moyes that if he changes things, that he can get results. Almost the worst thing that can happen is that it doesn't work. Oh, right, that's it. I knew it. I'm going to go back to 4 at the back and defending deep and all the rest of it. So, but Tommy is right. Intent is massively important on this, and he's got to attack them. The crowd are not going to be up for the first 10, 15 minutes of us sitting back if they have 4 or 5 attacks. That's not going to be make for a good atmosphere.
That front two worry me a lot. They really do. Up against our back three. Our back three's slow. I include Creswell in this. Creswell, Dawson, O'Connor. There's no pace in that back three. Them two are very direct. This is something that I kind of admire about Brentford. They don't always care about pretty football. They're willing to do it ugly, really, where they get a set piece, they'll come back and defend in numbers and just hit a long drive and Tony. There's your 60-yard ball, flick that on, and we've got our man running off him, and they can go from defence to attack in about 2 passes in 5 seconds. And I think they're going to cause us havoc, actually. The more we push forward, the better it will be for Brentford. If ended Thomas fans going, come on then, come in and attack us, because you'll just play right into our hands a little bit. Very good team, Brentford. Moyes has got better players tonight. Individually,
yes,
Moyes has got better players than what Brentford have got. They do. I'm sorry, but we do. There's some good players in that Brentford team. Don't get me wrong. I think Rhea's a top keeper. Their strikers are really good. But you look at the midfield three. Come on, Rice and Paqueta. And you look at, with the greatest respect, Da Silva and Jensen. Moyes has got the better players. If we don't win tonight, it's because of tactics. If we fail to win tonight, it's down to tactics. Yes, okay, there's player performances as well, but there's no excuses tonight, really, I don't think. I think he's nearly got a fully fit squad to pick from as well. He's not missing that many players. Maguire's not 100% fit. Cornet would he have started anyway? I don't think he would have done. So...
who knows? No, I'm really excited. But to be fair, Gio, I might even order a Deliveroo to celebrate. Because I haven't had.
I'm having a Chinese tonight.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've been saving up for a Five Guys. I might splash the cash tonight. Get half a burger or something. I might be able to afford the bun or something.
Right. The bench for Brentford this evening is Cox. That's his name. Not a plural summarization of the bench. Cox. We've also got Canos, Wissa, Godos, Janssen, Keane Lewis-Potter, who West Ham were heavily linked to in the summer. Damsgaard, Janelt, and Trevitt as well. That's your Brentford bench. Myself and Gonzo are going to do a bet in a second. Thank you to Michael Zato for the $4.99. Says excited to see the Rice and Paqueta combo. Thanks as always for the great videos.
Yeah, you're welcome.
There you go. Poll is now live. What do you make of the West Ham starting 11? Get involved, and then Charlie will be along in a bit to give us your verdict, what you guys are all saying. Now, Gonzo, for the bet tonight, we're switching to Paddy Power. I'll tell you why in a second. But
tell me why in a second. Not yet, in a second.
No, I'll tell you now, actually, because you can bet on players to commit fouls.
Yeah.
So I'm putting Paqueta to do 2 fouls in there. He fouls a lot, and he's playing centre midfield tonight with Declan Rice. He's committing at least 2 fouls tonight. What are you fancying for the bet?
Well, I'm still thinking of the phrase. I'm still thinking how to try and have to.
Right. Well, we'll back West Ham. We'll put West Ham winning. We've got to back them, haven't we?
We have to back.
Who are you fancying for a goal then?
Bowen.
Jared Bowen. Right,
definitely. Well, I say definitely.
Stick Jared Bowen in there. Is there anyone you fancy for a booking? I reckon Big Dawson playing right centre back. Tony tends to go to the left as well, so he should find himself up against Tony.
Maybe Bonner is another one. To be perfectly honest with you, but I don't mind. You choose, mate. I chose a goal scorer.
I'm putting Dawson in there. That'll do. That's it. Slap a fiver. 200 quid. That'll do. So if these 4 things happen tonight, someone wins £200 cash. If West Ham win the match, if Paqueta commits 2 fouls or more, Jared Bowen scores a goal, Craig Dawson gets booked, one of you guys win £200 cash. To enter, please, in the live chat, put the following phrase.
There's 2 players' names in this one, and that is a smaller Cox than me.
Oh, for God's sake. Right, there you go. Anyway, Ivan Toney will be entering. He'll be popping up in a
Not
second.
me, he won't.
Right. While they're all getting involved in the bet giveaway, Gonzo, what you feeling? What's your overall vibes? Has your hopes increased a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. Yes, it's just to see the change in him. It's just to see a little bit of that's it. That's the spelling we want. Just to see a bit of urgency from him. I just hope we see that. We have to start quickly, Gio. We really do. We cannot sit back and just invite a load of pressure upon us, because I think you're right. We do have good players and we have better players than them, but the choice of the three centre halves, I wouldn't suggest that was it. I think if everybody was fit and in form and we were playing three at the back, I don't think it would be unfair to argue that Moyes' choice of the three centre halves would be Dawson, Zuma, and a Gerd.
Yeah, I agree with that.
These are not his first choice defence or anything close to it. I've never been convinced by Soufal at right wing back. Of course, he needs to have a good game now, but it does lack pace. He's right, but I don't think they're going to be moving much. I've got to be honest here. I think they're going to be staying in and around that sort of vicinity. It's slow as hell. But he's got to do something. And you know what? All you had with the previous formation was Souček dropping in there anyway. And he was just a hindrance when he was trying to pass the ball in midfield. So, you know what? He's obviously thought, I might as well stick somebody else in there, switch the formation around. And I do think we're going to have not just two attackers, because obviously Benrahma will attack. I possibly do think we've got a little bit of a partnership. And if I'm very excited about anything tonight, then it is that hopefully we can get Bowen and Scamacca linking up. That could be really interesting. I'd like to see a little, big flick on header from Scamacca, Bowen rifling it in or whatever.
This game's got goals. Both teams are scoring tonight. There's no. I struggle to see a scenario when either team keep a clean sheet tonight. I think they've got too much firepower. We've got too much firepower. Both teams have been conceding as well. Anyway, it's time for you guys to get involved in the live chat. Give us your thoughts on the Brentford team, West Ham team, how you see the game going, any hopes and fears you may have, anything relevant to the match, just like Hammerhead Hardy has. Says the back three lacks pace. He's worried about Ivan Toney. We need to be on the tap from the word go. Ariola needs to start, but he's glad he's dropped Kerr and Souček. He's optimistic. And we've got a question from Lewis, which is an interesting one. Do you think Moyes has been working on something new and waited to unleash it in this game? Or do you think he's trying something on the spot?
I think it's on the spot, Lewis. I really do. I think if he had kept his cards to his chest and it was the plan all along... Do you know what? No, if you're right, if the first part of your theory is true, then actually he has been practicing it all through the last 3 weeks, right? And so let's just assume. I think my initial assumption, that's interesting. That's got me thinking. My initial assumption was he's just doing this late and we've not practiced three at the back at all. That might not be the case. He might have spent half the time during the international break, if you want to call it that. He might have spent half that time practicing three at the back. So who knows?
Yeah, it's difficult because in order to believe that, you've got to give Moyes the benefit of the doubt, which is a very difficult thing to do when we're in this form. But at the same time, I find it difficult to believe that we've gone 6 weeks and we've come up with the tactics that we had before the World Cup. 6 weeks and we've come up with the same thing again. I struggle to fully believe that. And he's shown in the past, I'm still adamant he did this, when Jared Bowen arrived, and I'm aware I'm going back a few years here. He didn't play Bowen in the first 2 games because we were away to City and away to Liverpool, kept him out. Then he played him in the 3rd game, which was home to Southampton, and he scored. And it was almost like, I don't want to ruin this guy's confidence by having him feeding on scraps up against the 2 best teams in the league. I'm going to keep him back. Then I'm going to play him against a team that he's more likely to do damage against, and it worked. So it's a difficult one to gauge and fully know the answer to. I can see arguments for both sides of the coin here. I'm inclined to sort of think it's a bit of a hybrid, that there is an element of planning to this, but there is also an element of pushing the big red buzzer, if you like, which is, whoa, panic stations. We've got to try something different here. We got told in the summer that he wants to play three at the back more often this season, and that was the reason for going after Emerson. We've not really seen it, though, but we've played this formation in Europe plenty of times as well, so it's not completely new to us. So we'll have to wait and see. An interesting question, Lewis. Thank you. Paul says, poor back three, very average wing backs. Throw the suspect keeper into the mix, and at 6 players out of the 11, you wouldn't mind switching out. Waste of 188 million.
Yeah, I see what he's saying. I see what he's saying. It's hard. It's hard to be positive at the moment. It is. There's no doubt about it. But it's funny, match day comes along and the build up to the match and changes something. And I do. I have no evidence. I spent all week moaning. But I do. I'll get to this point. I think, you know what? I'm gonna watch the game. Gonna have a Five Guys bun and enjoy the win. So when there's precious little evidence for that, and Paul's right on that. When he's praised the team there.
Ben says, really can't understand why we switched to three at the back, then dropped Souček. His dip in form came when we moved away from the back three. It reminds me of Bilic, which sub Snodgrass for Carroll. Adrian says the average age of that team must be amongst the highest in the league. It probably is, to be honest with you. But if it wins, I don't really care. Scott says, do you think Paqueta will sit in with Rice, or do you think he'll shuffle forward and Rice holds the fort?
Well, there's no need for him not to shuffle forward, Scott. To be fair, he's got three defenders behind Rice, so absolutely go and join in. I'd just like him to play like he plays for Brazil, and I understand that he's not got Rafinha there and Casemiro and whatever the four guys in front of him. Oh, it's just me thinking about burgers again. But he's just to sort of play with that swagger and that freedom. And just to start playing the passes without having to worry about defending. But he's better from deeper, and he'll play a little bit deeper in this one.
Yeah. Right, we've got Adam says, now that Souček is benched, finally, I think we might win this one 2-1. Bowen and Benrahma to score. Michael says, I'm dreading this. Risk-adverse Moyes will be his negative self. I'm expecting a disaster. Sorry for the pessimism, but he's driven me to it. Michael would have liked to have seen Antonio up front with Scamacca and Paqueta. That would have been a brave one. Kevin's worry is back three is too slow. Amen to that one. Christian said Benrahma will be the first one off if things start going wrong.
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, he's got a bit cocky, isn't he?
Our analysis says that Jack Elderton, who does our analytics over in Patreon, says that it's the Europa Conference League tactics in the Premier League. Maybe he's been tuning into the build-up show. Ethan saying, would Kerr not been better at right wing back? I can see the argument for it. I mean, it's a good substitute to have if Soufal isn't working, that Kerr can go on and play in that position.
Maybe, but I think you have to play Soufal for reasons that I've bored everybody with all week for what we saw against Arsenal. I think you have to reward someone with that fighting spirit. So I don't mind. We're gonna have to roll our sleeves up in this one. It's not just gonna be about playing pretty football. We're gonna have to roll our sleeves up. One thing I hope from Soufal is we get 3 or 4 quality crosses. I spoke about the inverted wingers in the week and they're great and it's fashionable, but it doesn't help Scamacca. You get this big 6'5" striker or whatever he is. You want to be putting crosses over to him. I think it could be absolutely devastating in the air. Let's say, for instance, let me just, for argument's sake, let's say Sean Dyche did come in. All right, the first thing Sean Dyche would do with Scamacca would be to get him playing like Chris Wood. That's what would happen. He would start utilising him, and it would make other teams have to worry about him. And I just don't think that Moyes gets the best out of him. I hope we see the best out of Scamacca today because he's a hell of a player if you utilise him correctly.
Yeah, I completely agree. Hammer Boy says this has to be it. The change must start now. I'm willing to give it 3 games for Moyes to turn it around for good. Ben's asking, is it too little, too late? While De Pablo says we haven't had the players to play a back three. Christian said it was a poor performance and lost, and will Moyes be sacked? We discussed it last night, but we'll discuss it tomorrow as well. Should we lose? What are you laughing at?
Marcus, you're right. You are absolutely right. But just back a second. The too little, too late. It's not too little, too late. He's number one. We're not in the relegation zone. Number 2, he's not lost his job yet. So if he does it and it works, then it's not too little, too late. It's just bloody late.
Colin Wood's taking 5 guys to court as he was expecting a wild night, but only got a burger.
I tell you what, you're better off with a burger.
Akil says this is Paqueta's position. I'm really happy Souček's being dropped as well. Want to see Fabianski dropped as well. However, Louis says Paqueta will be fantastic this match with Scamacca. Mincy says it's attackers 1v2. It's going to be hard for us to win with people like Bowen in support. Paul says, I just hope they find a way to get Scamacca into the game more and avoid him becoming
I think we'll see that. I think, that's alluding to both the last two posts you popped up on screen there. I think we'll see Bowen closer to Scamacca. I think the sacrifice of one extra defender. I think we've also sacrificed. We haven't got two wide players on each side. We've got a bit light in midfield. All that's been sacrificed. The one positive in that is that I think we should have an additional attacker there, and I think it should be Bowen next to Scamacca.
Mick says, on paper, this team's good. It's whether they want to win or are the players trying to get rid of David Moyes. Iron's analysis says Bowen and Ben Rama need to operate narrow and in front of Paqueta, and Sefal and Emerson need to get high up to operate the space vacated by the pair of them. Lewis says he's keen to see how much urgency and intent the players show tonight. They must be aware of how much pressure David Moyes is under and how much fight we will see from them. I think that's true.
They will be aware of the pressure. There's no doubt about it at all. No doubt about it.
Leo says Moyes will try to play this game like England. Rice to hold firm. Paqueta and the Bellingham role. Wingers out wide for me. So our wingers cutting in and wing backs overlapping. I hope so.
No Jordan Henderson, have we?
Yeah. Anyway, right. My Chinese have turned up, Gonzo, so I'm going to have to leave you in a second, but don't worry. I've called for backup. It's the man who won the money.
Can't hear you. Muted as usual. He's still muted. He's going.
I'm glad he's muted at this point. To be fair, I think he's.
What you got, Geo? What you got? What have you ordered?
I don't know. It's a mystery order.
A mystery order.
I've left her to do it. It's probably 5 guys. I left her to do it, so I don't know what we've got. Sweet and sour chicken will be in there. The bit back fried rice, but I don't know what else has arrived. We usually get like 2 things and just split it, half and half. So.
You're still muted. You're still muted. Go on, Gio. You're gonna have your Chinese. Right. I'll wait for Mick Foley.
When Mick Foley reappears, can you just go through his BetMate team with him and just tell everybody to download the BetMate app, which links in the description, and the code set up as well, which is HC10. They get £10 free credit. Would you mind reminding everybody?
I will remind everybody. Don't worry. Thank you.
I'm
glad you left it to me to tell them. Yeah. We just had a conversation then, like we weren't live, didn't we? That was nice.
1-1 is what I'm saying, by the way. I'm sticking with 1-1. Right, I'll catch you in a bit.
Nice one. Enjoy your Chinese. There you go. There's Gio off to enjoy his sweet and sour chicken. No 5 guys for him. Charlie, are you with us?
I'm jealous of that Chinese, man. I want it. You know what I mean?
What would you have the Chinese or a 5 guys given choice right now? And what mood are you in?
I would eat a burger right now. You're offering me a burger, and I would eat a burger. Usually, I would say Chinese, but I've got a burger in me that I could go. Do you know what I mean?
It's a good burger, right?
I've had it once.
Okay.
I'm still
paying it off.
Yeah, but it was good. It was good. I can say it was good. But
we need to discuss your team. So, by the way, this is Charlie's team. It's a fantasy football game. And they're sponsoring this video, and the app is called BetMate. Now, in the last game, the Arsenal game, out of all of us, Charlie won some money at this. So he's probably.
What I was shouting is apparently betting's easy. I nailed it.
You did. You put the first bet and you won.
Get the win.
That's it. That's it. So we've put in a team. We've all put in a team for this game coming up now against Brentford. Now, the premise behind this game is you only pick players from Brentford and West Ham, basically. It's 6-a-side, plus you get 6 subs, so you pick 6 from each club. Now, it's £3 to enter this particular game, and I'm going to pop Charlie's team up in just a second. However, if you join up and you use the code that is in the link in the description below, you have to use that link as well so they know you've come from Hammer's Chat, then you get £10 free credit. So £3 of it leaves you £7 to place on other bets, which you can wait for leads. There is Charlie's team. Charlie, what are we saying?
Yeah, I'm not as confident as winning money with this one. I can't lie about it. I think the thing is with last time, I think it was quite an easy one in terms of I was very not confident that anything was even close to happening. So I just loaded it up with Arsenal players, bish, bash, bosh, what a time to be alive. This one, I'm a bit more 50-50, as you can see. Ivan Toney and Bowen, I feel like they're the two most likely to score, for example. I quite like Yana, although I believe he's on the bench, so I might need to go and have to change that one. I believe he's starting on the bench. But yeah, he is on the bench for Brentford.
And here's Geo's team.
One.
I've got that as Geo's team. No,
that was Geo's team, yeah.
That's Geo's team there. No Janet for Geo.
No.
And there is my team. I've got Janet in there as well. Dawson, Cresswell. There you go. We didn't pick too badly. Paqueta captain. So I guess we'll wait and see. We'll have to see. That is the BetMate Fantasy Football app. Use the link below. Literally, there's a written section underneath this screen. I like that. Use that link. Use the promo code. Get yourself £10 worth of free bets. Go and do it now. Anyway, are you excited about the formation?
I am, and here's what I'll say. I think this is what David Moyes has wanted to do all along. This sounds a little bit cabin fevery, I appreciate. But I do think this is what David Moyes wanted to do along. In the summer, we were linked with wing backs. The most notable one was obviously Kostic. We bought a heck of a lot of players that work in this system. Agard fits in this system. Kara fits in this system, right? And during pre-season, we played it quite a lot. And we played it in Europa League in competitive fixtures. I think this is in David Moyes' mind, I think this is what everything was building towards, is this style of formation. Maybe not this exact personnel in these exact places. You know, I don't think at any point he was looking for an Ogbonna, Dawson, Cresswell back three.
The dream team. Yeah.
But I do think this is kind of what he was building towards and going towards in the end. And that interests me. I don't think it's quite all the way there. Obviously, injuries have impacted it. I think there's a lot to be said about how I think overrun our midfield is going to be. I think we're going to get absolutely decimated in that area today. Paqueta and Rice fill me with no confidence in that sense to go up against three separate midfielders. I just don't see that happening. But I think it gives us an opportunity to control the game. And under David Moyes, I think three at the back is our best system for attacking. I know that sounds backwards and people talk about three at the back being a defensive system. It's not, but I understand what they're trying to say. I think under David Moyes specifically, that gives you that ability to commit more players forward while also still maintaining some sort of defensive solidity. As long, in this specific instance, as Declan Rice sits back, I'm all right. I feel like there's something here. Again, I think they're going to overrun us, but if we can play our game, they can overrun us as much as I like. But if as long as we put our stuff together, there may be something there. There's maybe something there.
Okay, so what you're saying is you're Moyes in. You love David Moyes. You've got great belief in the tactics, and you predict the win.
I'll say this: I am Moyes in. I'll say that. I know that it's suicidal at this point, but I'll say it. I'm not. All the other things you said are completely incorrect. But I'm in the unenviable position of never liking David Moyes, yet somehow being the only person who's left defending him. But we'll see what happens, Gonzo. We'll see what happens.
That was a great comment. That's a 28-minute video, right, ranting about David Moyes. Somebody put after. Underneath. So are you Moyes out?
Yeah.
You got to have the soundbite. You got to have the soundbite.
Yeah. If you don't say the exact words,
yes,
then it really doesn't matter.
No,
it really doesn't matter.
No, that's it. Right. Well, listen, Charlie, I'm gonna have to love you and leave you just because I've still not gone on the app and ordered mine. I'm jealous. You've just been talking about pancetta and rice. Geo's eating his Chinese. I keep thinking about burgers. Whilst I've been sat here for half the show wondering if they do onion rings.
Sure. Can you afford onion rings, Gonzo, from Five Guys?
Probably not. I might have a little. Might raid my PayPal account. Might have a look. See, I might. Like my Christmas cards. When I open my this isn't one. I might sort of shake it just to see if I'm still a teenage. No one's given me money in my Christmas card for years, but I might just go and check. Check down behind the sofa. It was a shock. As you know, my first ever Five Guys was about 2 months ago. I'd never had it before, and I went in there and I had the biggest shock. My daughter, me, burger and chips twice. She had the smaller burger. I had the bigger one, and then like a drink. You can fill up as many times as you go to the thing.
Yeah.
And I went, and it was, I did on the Patreon WhatsApp group. I basically displayed my receipt and my disgust, and it was for me and an 8-year-old. So it was 35 quid for burger and chips, and couldn't believe it.
To be fair, I'll say this, and I've just been away to see my family the last couple of days between the two matches, which is why if anyone's thinking, well, Charlie's coming in with some energy for a bad game of football, that's why I've just been away. We went to a pub, 2 glasses of wine and a pint of Coke, £20. £20. Now, as you know, I was the cheaper one. I was the Coke here. £20. What kind of madness is this, Gonzo?
I don't. To be honest, Charlie, I don't drink wine, but I've seen the glasses that people have for gin and wine. They're like fruit bowls, right? A wine glass, basically, a wine glass has grown. A wine glass grown a lot in the last 10, 15 years. I went to my mate's house a couple of weeks ago, and he was cooking. He said, "I'll pop over a bit of dinner." And he's cooking. He said, "Do you want a drink or anything?" I was driving. I said, "I won't. I'll just have a lemonade or something."
Yeah.
And he said, "So I'm gonna I've got a glass of wine just while I'm cooking." The thing was like half a football, right? With this red wine in it. What on earth is that? That's not a glass. And he's like, "I think I might have a glass of wine out the bottle." He's basically got a bottle of wine in a glass, making himself feel better that he's only had a glass of wine. So you say 20 quid. It depends. It really does.
Depends on the size of the glass.
Well, they say that. I think when you order, you go to a bar and because I never know, and someone you say to someone, "Do you want?" And you go to the bar and you say, "I'll have I'll have a sparkling wine," whatever they've ordered, and they'll always say, "Oh, do you want what size do you want?" I think, "Oh, hold on, trick question." It's not like ordering a pint. People don't say when you order a pint, they don't say what size you want.
Well, no, you just say a pint.
The volume is already catered. There's a grey area with the wine. Anyway, Charlie, I'm gonna go and order my burger with grilled onions and mushrooms and cheese. Oh, Danny, you're very kind.
Danny
my friend.
coming through.
You're very, very. You're very kind.
We'll have to figure out if they exist, Danny. And to be fair, that might not be enough, but with Michael and GP maybe on top, maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll be able to get some
Absolutely.
Well, enjoy it. If you do have it, enjoy yourself.
No, I will enjoy the game, and I will catch up with the rest of you at full time with Geo, either happy or sad. There we go. Have a good one, Charlie. See you, mate.
Cheers. See you later.
Bye, mate.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Gonzo and Geo. What a time to be alive, both of them, and then a little bit of extra Gonzo. When me and Gonzo talk, it always just ends up being about food. I can't lie. It does. But how are you all? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. We've got about 20 minutes-ish until kickoff. I've just realised I'm bleeding. My finger is bleeding massively because there's blood everywhere, which is a bad thing, but that's something we're just going to have to deal with as we go. Let's start strongly by saying on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least confident possible, 10 being the most confident possible, how confident are you of a West Ham result today? Let's start with that. And while we do that, I will say the results of the poll, because that's happened now. The poll has happened, in fact. After 24 minutes, 59% of you said... yeah, the starting level's all right. 26% said you're very happy. 11% says it's poor. 2% said it's fuming. Said you're fuming, which is probably about where I'd expect it to be. Like I said, I'm feeling like this is actually, before we do all that, if you're looking for a way to watch the game, because of course it is not on United Kingdom television today. I am at the home of my boy, Danny. North Idaho holiday home. That's where I'm watching it from. But if you would like to watch it from somewhere, let's say, there are definitely ways you can do it. If you scroll down into the link in the description below, there's a bit there called Join Our Discord. It's completely free to join. Lovely Hammers Chat West Ham community. However, more importantly, if you scroll down on the left-hand side, there's a bit there called Stream Links, and you should be able to find what you're looking for. I went on there maybe to find mine. Who knows? I couldn't possibly say. And there is links on there. So make sure to have a look if you are looking for one. Like I said, I think this is the team David Moyes wants to play. Right, I do. I have said this for a while. I've said it on different shows. I've said it on Hammerlytics. I've said it on... that's not worked. I've said it on Hammerlytics. I've said it on these streams. I've said it loads of different places. I think maybe not this specific set of personnel, but that formation is something... get rid of some blood. That David Moyes has wanted to play. And that kind of gives me a bit of excitement. I think we are going to see a hampered Paqueta in it, but it does make me sort of a little bit anticipating of this one. I think it's going to be difficult regardless, but let's see how everyone else says. Woody, thank you by the way. Hello, how are you? Hope you're well. Is it the result of a performance or more important? Is it the result or the performance more important tonight? And should Lanzini be more involved? He's a technical player like Rest Paqueta. I would still say performance today. That's more important for me. Obviously, the result is huge, but I think if you think of you after David Moyes, the result is more important. But for me personally, I would say performance, because that indicates that we're building on something and then will lead to more results down the line as opposed to just the one. And then should Lanzini be more involved? He's a technical player like Racing Paqueta. Yeah, but I just think he's past it at this point. I love him, but I just don't think he's quite there yet. Should he be if we find a space from it? Makes sense. Yes. I don't know if he fits in this. I don't know how he fits right now. Maybe if we were to start playing that 4-3-3, which is another formation I would like to see, I think he would definitely have a role to play there, whether it be starting or not, I don't know. But let's have a look at some of these confidence levels. Dean, by the way, good evening, how are you? 6, 4, 3, 6, 0, 6. We're starting strong. 5, 7, 5, 6, 7, 4, 6, 7. 3, 4, 4, 2, 4. Good evening, Bobby. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day. 3, 5, 5, 3, 2, 5. Moisasaurus C. You're not wrong. 11 says Darren. 3, 9, 2. The opposite way. 3, 3, 3, 4. You can see the confidence levels, and I don't think that's unfair to some of these low scores, you know? Because even me, who's thinking this is a formation we should have been gone for, or something that David Moyes has wanted to go for, even me who has said that this is something I think is the best way to see attacking football of any kind from David Moyes, I still can't sit here and say I'm super confident. Now, I might be a little bit more confident than chat is on average. You're looking at sort of lots of 3s and 4s, probably somewhere around there, maybe 4, you know, 5 and 16, for example. I'll take Charlie McCharface. I'll take that. Lasser's got very confident all of a sudden and gone with an 8. I respect it. I might not agree, but I respect it. After the team seen a 6, 7, oddly confident because of the formation change. See, as much as I say that, I probably wouldn't say I'm confident as much as I like it. And Logan, by the way, good to see. As much as I would say I'm more confident because of the formation, I still wouldn't put myself higher. It would be higher than a sort of, like I said, the average is probably about a 4 for the chat. I would say I'm definitely higher than that, but I probably would say I'm somewhere in the region of a 6. I still think it's going to be difficult. I still think, for example, that we are in midfield going to be completely and utterly overrun. I think it's about when we have the ball, what those two midfielders do, and then off the ball, it's going to be very reliant on Rice. Paqueta is going to be all about positioning, and it's going to be very reliant on Rice. But I think Paqueta coming in for Souček in that role makes sense. I mean, looking at this formation, you can tell it's a bit all over the shop because if we're being honest, even the West Ham media team, final 16 out of the year. Love that, Dan. Love that say. Even the West Ham media team have just gone with numerical order. They've given up the ghost on trying to figure out exactly what the exact positioning is. But in general, you've got Fabianski in goal. You've got a back three of Cresswell, Dawson, and Ogbonna. You have a left wing back of Emerson, a right wing back of Sufal. You've got Paqueta and Rice in central midfield together with Bowen on one side, Ben Rama on the other, and Skamaka up top. We've got a lot of people in there that we wouldn't have seen usually. The bench being Areola, Johnson, Fornals, Antonio, Lanzini, Downs, Kera, Aged, and Souček. Let's take a brief look at the Brentford bench, or the Brentford lineup and then the bench. They understandably actually know where their positions are. It's a back three. It's Raya with Roslev, Zanka, me, and Pinnock in defence with Henry at left wing back. Rico Henry, of course. Norgard, Jensen, and De Silva as a midfield three with Mbemo and or Mbuemo, however you want to pronounce it, and Ivan Toney up front there. Bench Cox, Canos, Vissa, Godos, Janssen, Lewis Potter, Damsgaard, Yanau, and Trivit. If you're looking for ways in which those are ordered, I'll just lob the bench up very briefly. There. I just think it's good. The formation change is good. I don't think it's the answer to beat Brentford. Okay, we have to do something against Brentford. We've gone 4-3, we've gone 4-2-3-1 or some variant of that every single time and got beaten by them. So we do need to change it up against Brentford specifically. I don't know if this is the way to change it up. I understand sort of what they're going with, or sort of what David Moyes is going with. However, what I would say is that I think this is the way he wants to go forward. And so with that specifically, that's an exciting idea. That's an exciting idea. But it's not about me. Let's be honest about it. It's not about me at all. I should also say, love that. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a grand old time. North Idaho's treat me well. I hope I haven't checked. Steve, from a very wet roads. Hopefully it's been okay, even though it's wet. I got caught in the rain earlier on the way back to London from my family's. Not fun. Hopefully my test won't add to it after seeing the lineup. My hopes of running to a sick. Okay, we'll take that. And Stu, good to see you, my friend. If you haven't already subscribed to the Sable Team, what are you doing, blood? Stu doesn't say it on his show. Stu never says subscribe. I'll say it for him. Subscribe to flipping the Sable Team. West Hammer's chat and all that. Yeah. But just Sable Team. And good to see Suchek drop for his own sake. And that's an opposition fan saying, so you know it's bad. Looking at the situation, then, you've seen the team, you've seen the bench. In fact, what I'll do is I'll lob the West Ham bench up there because that's the only thing I haven't shown explicitly in this show. Let's do a bit of sub bingo. Sub bingo is the game where we predict when David Moyes will make his first substitution. You don't have to say the exact player. I'm only looking for the time. However, if you want to put the person in, add a little bit of spice in there, feel free to. I would personally say it's 1000% gonna be. I think it will be Ben Rama for Suchek. That's my gut. Ben Rama for Suchek. Am I right? Am I wrong? We'll find out. But I think it will be Ben Rama for Suchek. I feel like the temptation to get Suchek back on will be too strong, and a temptation to somehow have a go at Ben Rama will also be too strong. Don't look for logic here, Alan. You know this. There is no logic here. This is the Hammers Chat watch along, my friend. We don't do any logic whatsoever. Brad, thank you very much. I did have a very nice Christmas. I hope you did too. I hope you well. It's very kind of you to say. Bell situation. We do have bells. Bells exist. Okay, we have 4 bells available. I won't eat them all. I can't lie. After a couple, I will regret it. So I think 4 is probably it's probably too far. But if we feel like bells are necessary in a situation, I do have bells available. Okay, so if we feel it's going that way, feel free to call for the bells and we will go down that rabbit hole. If you are just joining, thank you very much for joining and you're looking for a way to watch the game, because of course it is not on legally in the UK today. There are definitely ways you can do it. Scroll down into the link in the description below. It's lovely Hammers Chat Discord, West Ham Hammers Chat, lovely community. Fans of all clubs are welcome, but more importantly, if you scroll down on the left hand side, there's a bit called stream links there and you'll find what you're looking for. The other thing I should say is to subscribe if you haven't already, if you're new around here, to make sure you subscribe, because we do a heck of a lot. January is coming up, which means we are going to be busier than ever. If I'm being honest, we are going to be busy non-stop, and we have tons of videos. We're not just covering every single game, although we were the only West Ham fan channel last year to do a watch-along for every single game. We've only missed 2 games since we started doing the watch-alongs all the way back at the beginning of 2020-ish, whenever it came back from the COVID break. That's when we started doing it. So what was it? March, April, whenever that was, 2020, I don't know. Time is flat circle. We've only missed 2, and last season we did every single game. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit that bell notification button when you subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. And we're hitting the 300 today. I'm vibing it. We've been nailing it recently. We're hitting that 300 likes. We're already at 204, and we've got 12 minutes till kickoff. I'm confident we're hitting 300 today. Like the video. Get involved. Exactly that. I'm now hearing on a completely different vibe For Whom the Bell Tolls. It's just playing in the back of my head. Time marches on. Let's have a look at some of these sub bingos though. Let me scroll up to where they began, because I had it when it was a safe trip. It was a safe trip. Very wet, but it was a safe trip. It was. 78th, 89, 71. First sub, 93rd minute, says Peter. I mean, look, here's the thing about the early subs. The usual late substitution expectation, which I think is very accurate the vast majority of the time. Here's what I'd say about that. Is that realistically, is he going to be able to is he going to be able to stop the temptation to go back to a 4-2-3-1, 4-4-1-1, however you want to say it? Is he going to be able to stop himself from going to a 4-5-1? Is he going to be able to? I don't know. Matt's saying Benny off, Suchek on. He's going for the exact same vibe. We're on the same. Me and Matt, we're on the same wavelength. Is your finger bleeding, Matt? Are we in that sort of synced up world? This is bad. This is bad. 78th minute. Logan's gone for 80. Benny for 4 now. 74th minute, says David. David, by the way, there was a youth player on Brentford's bench called Trevor, and it very much confused me for a second because I was like, I'm sure we have someone in our chat who has that name. Hope you are. Jack Boy is saying, oh, Jack Boy, it skipped. Hang on, Jack Boy, I'm coming back to you. Wait, Jack Boy, don't go. Stay. Hang on. Jack Boy is saying 78th minute. Benny for 4 nows. Ooh. Yeah, that's another strong shout, actually. That's another strong shout. 7th minute, says Tav. Scary. Don't like it. 1,000,000% Benny at half-time. Our board will sub Moyes at half-time. It's a different question entirely, of course, but one that's pressurised. 66 minutes. Benny for Souček. Yeah, it's one of those... It's one of those things... I apologise. There's certain things I just have to get out quickly. You know. Left-hand side, there's a bit called Streamlinks. If you click on that, you find what you're looking for and subscribe and all that nonsense, all the other things I'll say. Yeah, will David Moyes be able to stop himself from going back to a 4-5-1, 4-2-3-1 style thing? Will he be able to do it? I don't know. I'm not convinced. We'll see. One of the other things I should mention as we go. I'm very unwell. I've got very unwell as I've been away. It's been a bad time for me. I'm not well, so you may see coughs and sneezes and my nose sounds blocked and all this other sort of stuff. It's not gone well for me, all right? I went away to see the family. I thought this is going to be nice. Instantly got on well. It's only gotten worse. I have taken some paracetamol, so I'm sort of vibing off that right now. We're driving with that right now, but it will wear off by the end of the show. So if you've ever wanted to see a guy not lose it just mentally by watching David Moyes football, but also physically deteriorate, then make sure to stick around. Ben Rama for Souček, first minute. I reckon he left him on the team sheet by accident. Disgracefully accurate statements. Disgracefully. Kyle, good to see you. West Ham are not on the television today in the UK. At least they are everywhere else around the world. That's the way it works. If you're looking for a way to watch the game, there are links in the Discord in the description below. In fact, let me just put that. Not that one. That's for a different show. Ignore that. That's the one I was looking for. That's for 2 Spanners. Ignore that. So, I feel like with just under 10 minutes to go, we've gone through the lineup. We've gone through sub bingo. I'm going to ask for some slightly earlier than usual score predictions because I'm interested what people think. I'm very interested what people think. Reese, for a start, Deckers, good to see you. Yorkshire puddings, pigs and blankets. I'm going to be controversial with you, and I'm going to say yes. Amy's not backing the beef, and I can appreciate anyone who says otherwise, but I'm going to back it, Reese. I'm saying they are. I'm saying Yorkshire puddings right now. I can't act like I don't love a pig and blanket. I do. I love them, but I'm going to back your beef. I'm struggling, Jordan. I am struggling. My dog Einstein is watching this wearing sunglasses. It's probably a strong shout. You'll probably be able to see less of David Moyes' football then. It's probably quite a good idea, if I'm being honest, mate. Yes, very much so. I don't know which one of the things I've got. I haven't tested for the dreaded one yet. However, yes. I'm in bed now, up early tomorrow, but we'll chillax with the game. Major, if you think watching West Ham football is going to calm you down, you've probably got another thing coming, but I respect it. I'm very jealous. I do have a duvet on underneath here. I do have a duvet on, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm intrigued about the score predictions here because, of course, usually I'd ask for them right at the end. But I feel like right now, I just want to know where we're all lying with this. Because it could be one of those ones. Geo has spoken about it recently. The idea of winning is almost a bad thing. If you this idea of you've always got 3 games to go. If you win one of them, then what? If you win one but lose 2, do you carry on? Do you stay where you are? What does that mean for you going forward, right? And I understand that logic. And I think this is a potentially winnable game. Like, it's not the most winnable game in your life. You're going to see lots of other games that are significantly more winnable than this. But Brentford's not bad. We've tried to change something up. I feel like there's something there. And I feel like we're probably slightly more positive because of the change in system and the change in personnel than we would have been otherwise. I think if this was a 4-2-3, 4-5-1, 4-4-1-1, whatever you want to call it, David Moyes masterclass, then I think we would all probably roundly go, we're going to get bad. But I'm interested to see if any of those changes do somewhat push it forward. I'm intrigued. But while you get those in, which I can see a lot of you are already, I'm going to have to keep scrolling to try and find where that begins. I remember because Deckers was being controversial, so I'll be able to find it. Stick around for the rest of the show because we'll be live throughout the entire course of the game. First half, we'll be live all the way up to half time when Geo comes and talks some sense. That'll be the bit when there's actual sense talk and I can go toilet and whatnot, and I'll be back for the second half all the way through to full time when Geo and Gonzo will be live with their full live match reaction review. So stick around because we've got content non-stop today. Look at the blood in my finger. It's bad. Nicola's going 3-1 Brentford. 3-1 West Ham, 4-1 to Brentford, 1-1, lose 2-1, 3-1 to Brentford, 3-2 to Brentford, 2-2, says Chuck, 2-1 West Ham. David's going with 2-0 to Brentford. Benny will score a hat-trick, get subbed off and get slated by Moyes post-match. John, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. 4-2 either way, 3-2 West Ham, 2-2 draw, 3-1 Brentford, says Adam, unfortunately. 2-1 to West Ham, says Alex 4, 2-2. Lose 1-0, says Lloyd, 2-2. Scrappy 1-0. Come on, you irons. Come on, Graham. Let's go. Score, I have no idea what's going to happen tonight. I'm nervous. Yeah, a little bit same. 4-3, says Tom. High scoring game from Tom. I mean, we've gone more attacking than we usually would. And Brentford are known for scoring goals against us. 3-1, says Dave. Dave, I did also see your message earlier on. I'm scrolling up to try and read it. I saw the words and my brain went, I need to come back to this. And I'm trying to find it. I will find it. It's gonna happen. I'm trying to find it. Jamie, by the way, I also saw your message about Patreon as I'm scrolling. I would love you to come on Two Spanners, One Hammer. If you're a patron and you'd love to appear on Two Spanners, One Hammer, message me somehow and I'd love to make it happen. But Jamie, you message me the second you're back on Patreon, mate. You're coming on. I would love it. I'm trying to find... I can't find it, Dave, but I saw it. At some point, I'll see it again, and I'm very excited to learn more because I saw the words. Lewis is back in the beef. You'll have to see it. 2-0 to West Ham, 2-1 to West Ham. Oh, there's some backing. There's some backing here. Lose 3-1. 2-1 Win will turn it around. 3-0, says Brentford. Ooh, maybe Ogbonofoot again. Might see Moyes triumph. Ooh, Jack Boy, that's an interesting one. I back that wholeheartedly. That is an interesting one. As I can see, it's going like, yeah. It's getting a bit comical at this point. 3-1. I'm just gonna have to keep doing this and just hope for the best. 1-1 Brentford. 5-2. Says Graham. 4-1, 2-1. So yeah, we both know it's not possible. Oh, however, I did watch Knives Out, Glass Onion, and that accent is wild. 1-1, 3-2. Mark my words, says Emil. There's more confidence in the score predictions. That does tend to happen once we get to the score prediction time. It does seem to be just that little bit more confidence coming through. Of course, it's not vibing full force confidence. However, we can only hope, Ellen. Sack if draw, very doubtful. I don't even think he'll go if we win. If we lose, I'll be honest with you. I'm very much on Geo's wagon when he said even if we lose, I think he stays unless we get battered. I think that's the case today. But yeah, you can see a little bit more confidence coming through as we get closer to kickoff. It's the way these things go. But ladies and gentlemen, talking of kickoff, it will be in just a few moments' time. If you are looking one last time, I'll say this before kickoff. At least I'll probably say it 10, 20 more times during the show. If you're looking for a way to watch the game, there are definitely ways you could do it. Scroll down into the link in the description below. There's a bit there called Join Our Discord. You will find what you are looking for in there. I know that because I saw it earlier. Mike says he's watching Interview with a Vampire. Yes, Mike. It's good, man. It's good. How do I message you on Patreon? David. I tell you what, David. If your patron name is David, I will just message you. I can go through the Patreon and do it. David. Message There we go. David, if that's your name on Patreon, I will find you and I'll message you. I will message you. Ladies and gentlemen, kickoff is just a moment away. There are links in the description below to find it. Deploy the boys! Come on, the man, them. Yes, Lucas. Yes, that's what we're talking about. That's the vibe we need right now. The first one I've clicked on, it's not working, but we're gonna get there, guys. We're gonna get there. It's gonna be a stressful day for me and for you, but we're gonna get there. It's gonna happen. We're gonna do it together. However, like I said, there are links in the description below if you are looking for ways to do it. Regardless, now. There is a timer in the top corner, so you'll know exactly how far or ahead of you I happen to be. We'll see how that ends up playing out, because I don't know. When it's these sort of games, it's always a bit of an issue. We are getting a minute's applause for Pele, of course, who passed away a couple of days ago, was it? I'm not entirely certain when it was, but it was a hot minute ago. Obviously very sad to see one of the world's greatest footballers ever pass away. What a legend. And what a guy. Did that one EA talk that one time that went on for about 8 years? What a guy. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen. Love that. Where are you watching from again today? Of course, none of us can be in the UK technically, because we're not allowed to watch it in the UK. So where are you watching from? Tonight I'm, of course, in the holiday home of North Idaho. But West Ham are, I believe, ready to kick off. Them and Brentford are now looking like they're in formations. I think Brentford are going to be the people to kick off. I'm watching live on the USA Network, of course, in the holiday home of one Big Danny DeVilla. What was I going to say? Something I was going to say. We got to 262 likes, by the way. We are flying. We're going to hit 300. I'm 100% confident tonight. And we're underway. Deploy the boys. Come on, let's go. Time to run two things. Come on, you Lions. It's West Ham United versus Brentford. It's underway. If you want to know how far ahead behind you I am, top corner, there is a timer. Otherwise, we are on the run. We're on the go. Let's see how this ends up working out. I'm interested to see, will we get a bit more support around Skamaka from Bowen and Ben Rama. That's a good interception from Paqueta straight away. Finds Sai Ben Rama on the left. Played out wide then. Was interested to see Aaron Cresswell sort of in that back three formation. Probably going to be roaming forward to try and get those balls forward. How will he link up with Emerson? Paqueta getting really heavily involved in the opening stages here. Everything seems to be... Every other pass seems to be landing at his feet. It feels a lot like David Moyes has told the team, give the ball to Paqueta. Because he's getting very heavily involved right now. There's a run around the back looking for Emerson. Dink over the top. Can't quite make it work. It's going to be a goal kick to West Ham. Positive start. I'm, of course, watching in my holiday home in North Idaho. Or I should say Danny's holiday home in North Idaho. It's not mine. It's his. However, if you're looking for a way to watch it, there are definitely ways you can, my friend. There are definitely ways you can. Did I see... I did see Budgie. Budgie, how are you, my friend? I hope you're well. Hope you had a great Christmas. I hope you're well, bro. I saw the name pass. I got very excited. Sky Sports 1 live in Australia. Ooh, love that. All Hallows Kent, says Jamie. Lisbon, Portugal. My lovely little condo, bag of Bombay mixed Stafford's finest. It sounds like a lovely time, Dean. It sounds like a lovely time. Just grabbing a little scroll. Just double check. I'm watching from Brazil. Love that. I'll take that. My Uncle Dan nearly died of boredom watching West Ham last 10 games. Probably not unfair. West Ham are currently attacking though down the right hand side. It was a nice idea of a pass there inwards from Syed Ben Rama to Bowen. It looks like it might be more of a 3-2-1-2 style formation with Ben Rama just behind Bowen. That seems what it might be. Bowen and Skamaka up front sort of together with Ben Rama just behind him. It seems to be where we're going with this so far. That is the sort of Europa League style formation we've seen. Out of possession, Ben Rama is certainly standing on the left wing, but he was very wide and very central there. Very wide on the right and very central there, trying to get involved with Jared Bowen. So maybe in possession, that's the way we're going to see him move. We'll see how that goes. Have to keep an eye on that. Watching from my holiday home in Essex. I'm watching from the other side, says Elbow. That's very ominous. Love that from you. He's watching it with his mince pies. Danny is fully absorbed by this. You can tell. Hello from Wales. Hello, Shadow. I hope you're well. I hope you're good. It is not on telly anywhere in the UK, unfortunately. Good to see you, Harry. Hope you're well. It's idyllic. You must pop round. I must. It sounds like a wonderful time. I can't lie. Holy crap, dude! I did not see this. I've been away, so I've had my phone on, so I must have missed the message in the group chat. But my condolences. That's an awful thing to go through. I know the chat will have heard this because I said this to someone else recently, but when I lost my dad when I was 15, it was just a horrible experience. Something that no one ever wants to go through. So I hope you're holding up well. I hope you enjoyed the Christmas before then, but I hope you're holding up well, bro. And if you need anything, you have my number. You can message me whenever you want. But yeah, I hope you're well, bro. Lawrence, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're good. Hope you're having a grand old time. I'm watching from behind the sofa. Probably the most accurate place to watch it from. So far, looking all right. Oh, very jealous. Very jealous. Very jealous. Appears to be running 5 minutes behind. Well, I'm not exactly in time with everyone, to be fair. Big boot forward from Brentford. Going to be interested to see how the 3 deals with the 2 of Tony and Mbemo. They're linking up at the moment. Tony just nods it onto Mbemo. Played out to the left of Jensen. Good interception from Declan Rice. It was a poor pass and he just steams onto it. Let go of the ball to Emerson. That's what he does. Maybe a little bit later than he should have, but Emerson takes it past their right back really well there. So it wasn't even Emerson. It was a Ben Rama. Did really well there. Rice picks up the ball slightly deeper. Then finds back to Ben Rama, back to Rice. He's going to shoot from range. Oh, flipping heck. I was mid-shaking my head. It's hit the post. It's not gone in, to be clear. I need to remember to say what happened first, just in case. But a shot from range from Declan Rice are usually the most annoying things in the world to me because literally nothing of use ever comes from him apart from that one time he scored. But that's an absolute peach. Almost exactly like that one time he scored. Very similar position, very similar hit, trying to bend it up and round and hits the outside of the post. It's going to be a goal kick, but bloody hell. Bloody hell. Elaine, what I would say very quickly, Elaine, is I'm loving your bit, but I would say maybe reduce the amount of messages. Maybe reduce the amount of messages. But I love your bit, Elaine, and I'm not going to ban you because I'm enjoying it. But I would say dangerously close to spam, and at that point I will have to time you out. But loving the bit regardless. Loving the bit regardless. Paqueta getting the ball from Dawson there, getting involved deep. Again, that's another thing that's going to be interesting to see is how Declan Rice and Paqueta end up working off each other. Obviously, this is a very similar formation in terms of the defence in midfield than we saw during David Moyes' during the rise of David Moyes at West Ham, with Thomas Souček and Declan Rice in that midfield 2 together. And I think Paqueta playing that role with playing that role instead of Souček kind of makes sense. Instead of looking for a guy who's going to find the defensive bit, you're just replacing that with someone who's going to control the game a little bit more. But it does kind of make sense. That's a nice ball out, by the way. Soufal's got forward and moved centrally. Finds it out to Ben Rama. He's got Emerson just ahead of him. A little bit of lack of movement, but that's fine. We do find Cresswell. It's still very heavily wing-based, as you would expect. We're going to look to see Paqueta getting involved in central areas to try and maybe dominate that. He does well to hold off the player. Finds for Bowen. Oh, it's a nice idea to try and find Skamaka. It doesn't quite work out, and then Janssen just absolutely swarmed, tries an expressive ball forward to Mbemo, and Ogbonna very easily collects that. I'll tell you what, it's a strong start. It's a strong start. It's tough going, but I'm well supported. Good. I'm like I said, if you need me, you have my number. You're more than welcome to text me anytime. And as everyone in the chat is obviously sends their condolences as well. But everyone at Hamish chat, me, myself, Geo Gonzo, and when they find out, I hope you're well, bro. Hope you deal with it because it's not something you can really ever deal with. But hope you can, you know what I'm trying to say. They have touched the ball, but they've not been too good with it. They've not been. Paqueta is down, by the way. Receiving a bit of attention. Hopefully, it's nothing serious. Fornals and Lanzini are sort of going out to warm up. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious. I think we've been all right. This is a good start from us. I think he's going to carry on. Hopefully, it's just a knock and nothing too serious. My finger is starting to die down. Always a strong question, Ian. Where is Luis Boamorte? If I could just have like a YouTube channel where like it's just someone attaches a GoPro to Lewis Bowen-Moyes' head and it just live streams constantly. In fact, scratch that YouTube channel, make it a Netflix documentary, a Patreon thing, OnlyFans. I don't care. I want to just see it. I would pay for that. At all times, I want to know what Lewis Bowen-Moyes is doing. Paqueta's back on, so hopefully it's not too serious. He seems to be moving. He seems to be moving totally normally, so hopefully that's fine. Was it Downs? I saw Fornals and Lanzini standing up, but I didn't see who ended up actually going out. I was talking about watching Lewis Bowen-Moyes. Interesting. Skamaka trying to flick it around to Bowen. Bowen manages to collect it. It was a little bit undershot. Nice flick. Second one there from Skamaka out wide to Rice in the centre, who's charging forward. He finds Emerson on the overlap. Cresswell's on the underlap as well if he wants it, but he's going to try and put the ball in. He deflects upwards and off. Nice header down from Cresswell. Collects it first time. Again, it's still very wing-based, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Paqueta tries to play out wide. Can't quite manage it. Played back to the goalkeeper, Raya from Brentford, and booted forward. But this is good. We're forcing them into booting it long. The thing is they can counter-attack like that. They can very much counter-attack like that, you know? They're not bad at that. It does kind of rely a little bit too much on Mbemo. You could like boot it up long. Ivan Toney gets a knockdown or something, then joins the attack. They've obviously got some pace in their team, but with the three midfield system specifically, and with how sort of well we're doing going forward, you are sort of forcing them back a little bit, and their long boot is a little bit less dangerous than it was. But I can't act like Ivan Toney can't play those balls. If the ball comes to him in those positions on the counter attack, he can pick out Mbeumo and it can go well for them. But so far this is good. Forcing them into playing long is a good sign so far. That final pass again, just not quite getting there for us. But all right, we can build on that. The start is bright. And the pressurising is much better. We're pressing, ladies and gentlemen. Ball played forward from Brentford, and it's a good tackle from Craig Dawson. Big Craig, let's go. Finds Jarrod Bowen. Dawson's on the overlap. Jarrod Bowen maybe takes it too far. Dawson was there, although, Jesus Christ, I don't think I've ever seen Dawson cross in my life. I would love to see what it was, but I don't think I've ever seen it. But Jarrod Bowen ends up, I think, taking a shot with his weak foot off balance, under pressure from a good defender. It was never going to be a thing of beauty. Really well done from Craig Dawson there. But we win a corner and we will take that. They very much are. They very, very much are. Played in early into a really good position. Who was that with a header? Yeah, it was Dawson. It was a good corner as well. My God, I'm scared. I'm scarily enjoying what we're doing right now. I'm scarily enjoying it. It was a corner that was slightly quicker than usual, and it was good. It was put into a good position. We aren't trying to curve it into that front post. We were looking into Dawson, who's sort of vaguely in the middle, and he gets ahead to it, and it's just wide, close, nice. This is going too well. What can only happen? He is, but what is he doing right now? You know what I mean? What's he doing? Like right now? That's my question. What is Lewis Bowen-Moyes? Does he have a Twitter? Can I at him and ask him, what are you up to, mate? Because if he does, I will do it. Benrahma goes down, running forward. It's going to be a free kick to West Ham, just inside the Brentford half. This is a good start. Very good start. 12 minutes in, early doors. Love that. We're going strong. De Silva just all over Benrahma there. Easy free kick. Nothing more than that. Exactly. 100% exactly that. Neven, thank you very much. Hope all's going well in India, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. It's very kind of you to say. How am I watching? It's a good question, my friend. There are definitely ways you can find it. There you go. Cresswell, free kick comes in. Dawson tries to head it across, but it doesn't quite work out. It's going to be cleared away for a West Ham throw on the right-hand side. Connor, you should definitely ask your chatbot. You should 1000% ask your chatbot. And if it comes back with something too long to put in a comment, tweet it at me or DM me on Twitter or something, and I'll read it out because I need to know what Lewis Bowen-Moyes are doing right now. Oh, this is a really good opportunity. Players going down in the box. There's no foul really, but Jarrod Bowen gets shot away. doesn't quite work out, but all of a sudden it just sort of fell. There was a scrappy moment inside the box, a couple of different opportunities, people going down under pressure. There was no foul from my mind, at least in that situation. There was a long throw from, I think it was Vladimir Sufal, lands at the feet of Skamaka, who gets taken down. Who's the other person in there who goes down? Someone else goes down. It's Dawson who's in there who goes down. It lands at the feet of Jared Bowen, who shapes himself to shoot on his weak foot, and I think it deflects. Yeah, big deflection off Pinnock. It's going to be a corner to Charlie. Not corner to Charlie. Not a corner to me at all. It's a corner to West Ham. It's a corner to me. I'm taking it. It's me, guys. Whipped in from Jared Bowen towards the back post. No one can quite get there. Craig Dawson battling for it. He goes down. Shot from Emerson. Big crowd chance. Big crowd reaction from that one. I don't think it was a foul, and no one seemed to react like it was. Dawson's got straight back up. West Ham maintain possession of the ball. They're attacking nicely down the left-hand side. Ben Rama just gets a little bit caught up with the ball. Finds Emerson back again on the left-hand side. Trying to find a way through. He's got Paqueta just on the inside of him. Finds Rice just behind instead. Into Paqueta's feet. West Ham being forced back. There's good pressure and good defending from Brentford, finding nice space, but Sufal trying an elaborate ball forward to Jared Bowen doesn't quite work out. It's good. It's good. I'm scared that I'm enjoying it. Looking at the penalty shout again. Look, I'll say this. Dawson's trying to defend off. It's clumsy from Jensen. I'll be honest. For me, I would say that wasn't a penalty, but I could 1000% have seen them given. But oh Jesus Christ! Shot from range from Brentford from the replay, straight into the hands of Fabianski. But all of a sudden, I was very scared. Their first shot of the game from Brentford, 15 minutes in. But for me personally, I would say no. But I realise how other people might think. Crowd are reacting positively, Mark. The crowd sound good right now. The crowd sound good. They're fired up. Hopefully we can capitalise on it. Hopefully we can make something of this. Finn, my friend, you can 1000% have a shout out. I hope you're well. Benrama is on. Discord, link in the description below. You can find it. You can find a way to watch the game. Having a bit of a mare with my definite TV at the moment. Dawson could be given, not for me. Yeah, that's the way I would say. Not for me personally. I think is a bit light, but I can 100% understand why they would have been given. I've 100% seen situations where they were in the past. You know, just stopping the timer to get back to where I am. About 10 seconds later than I was previously, because the North Idaho Television Network. Oh, okay. Rightio. That's I mean, fair enough. Ball over the top look of Rico Henry. It's good, well defended by Vladimir Sufal. That's a bold thing, Connor. I can't lie. Fair enough is all I could say. Fair enough. Jensen's take a throw on the left-hand side. Oh, itchy nose. Itchy nose. He's looking to take it long. Fans jeering for taking too long. That's, is whatever. He's going to go long with it instead. Big long throw, battled in the middle. Comes down, safe. My thing has crashed. Is exactly where it is. Exactly where it is. Oh my god, I've just seen the chat. Oh no! And it's done it at this exact moment in time. That's what's happened to me. And I come back and Ivan Toney's celebrating. Okay, Ivan Toney has scored. It is 1-0 to Brentford. A long throw in. It gets launched in towards the box. Long throw gets launched in towards the box. Fabianski makes a save, comes out. Ivan Toney ends up putting in a net. I can't tell you exactly what happens apart from that. That's all I've seen so far. But it is 1-0 to Brentford, which is really annoying. Yeah, he just reacts quickest. He just reacts quickest. The push waves just straight into the path of him and a bunch of defenders, and he just manages to reach through all of them and put it in. It is not no, not that way around, Charlie. That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. There we go. Annoying, but there we are. It is, in fact, 1-0 to Brentford. Ivan Toney with the goal. It's annoying because, 2-3 minutes before they had their first shot, it's been all lasting, yet somehow we managed to go 1-0 down. Fabianski, it comes to him, he pushes it into the area of 3 players. There's 2 West Ham defenders there as well, and neither of them can get there before Ivan Toney just fully reaches out, manages to tap it in. It's 1-0. And it's annoying because we've been putting the pressure on, we've been doing really well, but now this is when we have to react, right? We've been doing well. What we've been doing is working. That last final pass just isn't happening. That last final bit just in the area is where we're coming unstuck, but we have been creating moments. We have been finding space, Jared Bowen's had a couple of shots. We need to pick ourselves up. This, and I don't want to say this because I think it's probably a little bit harsh, but this is when you need a really good captain. I think that should be a goal kick. It might be a corner, but I think it should be a goal kick. It's going to be a corner. To Brentford, that is. Although the referee's blown a whistle and my thing has gone haywire again. This is when you need a good captain, someone who's going to stand up and be able to, reset everyone. Someone who's going to be able to put everyone in a mindset to where it's no longer going poorly. Because that's the thing, right? You need to be able to get back off yourselves. It's been going really well for us. We've been on the front foot. We've been the ones pushing. We've been the ones making it all happen. If all of a sudden we flail around and flop, then we need to be able to pick ourselves back up, and it requires someone to sort of reset the team who's on the pitch, and hopefully Declan Rice can do that. I've not seen much evidence of him being able to do that so far at his time as the captain of West Ham, but hopefully that will come now. We'll see how that ends up working out as I try to find a way to watch it, because the North Idaho TV network is letting me down. It's letting me down, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, CB, my friend, my twin, how are you, sir? I'm bringing in good vibes, we'll bounce back. That's what I'm talking about, CB. Yes! Yes! Love you, bro. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Hope you're living life. Hope you're living that big life in the hot climes, you know what I mean? Whereas I'm so cold. Okay, we're back, and I'm hearing a lot of jeering as if potentially penalty or something. I don't know. We'll see. West Ham playing the ball around well. Skamaka dropping deep, getting involved. That's a nice ball to Bowen. Just behind him, actually, but it was a nice idea. Bowen pushes it well, manages to get a top on it, and it just cleared away. Rice lays it short to Bonner and then out wide to Aaron Cresswell, who's going to get forward. Declan Rice now trying to spread the ball out wide to Sufal, does well. Heads it back down towards Bowen. This is a big moment. This is a really big moment. Going 1-0 down at home is never a good thing. the chip over the top. Sufal does well to get there, but he can't quite keep possession of the ball. And now Rico Henry can come flying forward. Tell you what, it's good defensive positioning from Paqueta. Just gets in his way. He says, no, you're not getting forward. And then Sufal with a good interception under the pressure from Jared Bowen. Nicely done. Bit defensive to pass it all the way back, but we take that. This is a big moment for us. Going down. Going down 1-0 at home is obviously never ideal, but especially if the team, it's not a big, and I don't mean any offense to Brentford when I say this, not a big team, right? So they're not going to try and control the game. They're not going to do anything like that. They're just going to carry on playing the way they play it. And they're sitting deep at the moment. They're trying to stop us, but that allows them that flexibility, that freedom to do that. And so it's a huge thing for David Moyes to step out of himself and try and find that, because realistically, he's never ever done that. That's just not something he does. And so hopefully he'll be able to do that. We'll see if he does or he doesn't. But it's a big opportunity. We're getting possession of the ball. It's a little bit lackadaisical from West Ham at the back. I'm barely able to see right now. I'll keep trying to find a way. Declan Rice on the ball. Centre of the park finds Lucas Paqueta. Paqueta. I need to start saying that correctly at some point. Vladimir Sofal looks to try and whip the ball into Skamaka at the back post. Not good. Feels harsh, but I would maybe bring on Antonio for Skamaka at this point. Does well there. Lucas Paqueta tries to then play the ball forward. Can't quite find it. It was a nice idea. Nodded down by Brentford. They get control in the middle of the park with Mbuemo, who has a bit of space ahead of him. Decides to play it out wide to Janssen. It's played forward. Brentford are just passing the ball around right now. They are under pressure, but they've got the time and space to do what they want with it. Ivan Toney and Mbuemo both dropping very deep. The fullbacks, the wide wing backs, getting very far forward, but those two dropping deep, trying to link up that play. He comes to it, and I think he pushes it into a space. He makes the save, but it's pushed into a space, and Ivan Toney's the fastest to react to it. I don't know. I have to see, because I haven't even seen it fully yet, to be honest with you. Free kick to Brentford on the halfway line, practically under pressure. Ivan Toney goes down from a Paqueta. Yeah, look, I think it's difficult. It's an awkward one with Skamaka, because realistically, I look at this game specifically, and I maybe don't want to say he's doing nothing, although you're not wrong. I think we would benefit from someone who can just drag around and find some space. And that's what Antonio's going to do. He's going to come on, Jack and Cal was the first person, Cal Goodall and Jack Elderton from Analytics United, if you haven't already checked them out. They do football analytics stuff and tactics and all that sort of good stuff, stats for all the teams. You should definitely check out Analytics United. Really good things. Support them. They're doing good work. But Jack and Cal, specifically West Ham fans, I do Hamalytics with myself on the Patreon, patreon.com/HammersChat. Don't join yet. Join at the beginning of the month. It'll save you money. Trust me. But Cal said it to me first. He described Mikel Antonio as a vortex of chaos. And that's what he does. He gets on and he just starts moving about and causing problems with movement. And it's not even necessarily that he's creating golden opportunities with the ball at his feet or even scoring tons or doing anything like that. No, it's more that when he comes on, all of a sudden they can move around in a different way. And that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Ball played in, Skamaka headed down, straight into the goalkeeper's hands. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. Skamaka is not that guy. He's not going to move around. He's not going to create space. He's not going to. I mean, he can do to some extent, but he's not doing it 100% of the time. And that's kind of what I think we're missing here. Someone who's going to create a little bit of space, that little bit more movement for Ben Rama and Bowen to maybe take some advantage of. Paqueta finding those balls. Because right now, Skamaka, he's very central. We're looking to support him, but we're not really doing it. And in the box is where we're falling down here. I think everywhere else we're doing relatively well. But in the final, in their box, is where we're falling apart here. Played down to Ogbonna at the back. West Ham under pressure from Brentford. They're covering the passing lanes, but we're sort of managing to pass it around relatively calmly right now. They're not trying to stop us passing the ball. They're just sort of standing about. Because I really like Scamacca. I really, really like Scamacca, and I'm still hopeful that we'll see something from him. And I think there is a lot to come, and it could potentially work out. I'm not ready to write it off just yet. But right now, I'm looking at that final third, and I'm asking questions about what he's providing, and I don't see it personally. We're playing it around very, very, very casually right now. And there's no real incisive anything. We're just we've got possession of the ball. Brentford are more than happy for us to have possession. They're sitting back. We're just sort of passing it around. Bakatar finds Rice. Nice first touch. He made a good run. Rice decides instead to go for the big crossfield diag. He's looking for Soufal or Bowen on the right. My thing is stopped at that exact moment. It's played over. He's looking for Soufal on the far side. Headed back down towards Bowen. He's got Soufal still out wide on the right. He decides to pass it back instead to Dawson. West Ham working all the way back to Ogbonna. I think at this stage, the home crowd will accept sort of what's going on. But the longer this sort of frankly aimless possession carries on, the worse it will get. The worse it will get. But as of right now, they're relatively calm, the home fans. They're relatively calm. There is a little bit of discontent, but not much right now. GP with a £2. Thank you very much. I'm drinking bleach, scoff and Pringles crisps. First of all, correct. Secondly, thank you very much for the £2. You've already donated today. You don't have to do this, my friend. You don't have to do this at all. But thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I have to put your name in there. Bowen on the ball. Plays it out wide. Aaron Cresswell's in a good position to cross it. Scamacca's there. My finger's crashed right as that's happened. I'm going to put the names in the top tingy as we go. Let's see what happens. I'm very excited to find out what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll find out. I feel like I was looking directly at the chat at that moment, so I feel like if something had happened, we'd know. But interesting way to describe it. And a commentator just said economical. Brentford have been more economical, which is probably the right way you'd say it, right? You think about it realistically. I mean, Brentford have only really had a couple of chances, and it's happened for them. And with us, we've had a lot, but we've just not really made it happen. They're on a counter-attack again here. Bemo on the ball. Plays it out wide to Ivan Toney. On the overlap. Good block. I tell you what, good block from Jared Bowen. Angelo Ogbonna does well there. Just running him off the pitch. Good stuff. I'm struggling too. I used the latest link in the Discord. Sorry. If I were to be watching in a method that was not like that, I would have used the latest link in the Discord. And then the OVO one on there was working okay. But I am struggling and I'm having to flick through a bunch to make it work. That's a good ball. It's close. It was a nice idea from Ben Rama trying to bend it into the path of Scamacca. Just not quite working out. I've not had a bottle of Prime, Ian. It is a It is a drink made by two YouTube. Well, it was made by someone else, but a company that is being run by two very famous YouTubers. One from America, who's currently in a bit of trouble because of some crypto nonsense, and one KSI, who is a UK YouTuber, which is why it's so big. But no, I've not had it. I've not even seen one in the flesh, so you know. Ray, my friend, good to see you. Ray, I need to message you, by the way. Ray, did that package ever turn up? If you're still here, did that package ever turn up? Let me know. By the way, I can't find it now. Stu, I did see you complimented me. Thank you, Stu. It's very kind of you. West Ham in the area. Ogbonna lays it off to Benrahma. I tell you what, Raya does really well there. Just hooks it out. It was behind him as well. He's one of those ones where he jumps up, still like hooks it away. Flipping heck, it was close. Okay, thank you. I'll message you after about this. It's late. A bonger forward lays it off to Benrahma. I think it's Ben Rama or is it Skamaka? It might be Skamaka. No, it's Emerson of all people. Emerson takes a first-time shot with his left foot. It's really nicely done, and Raya just palms it away. It's going to be a corner for West Ham, whipped into the box. Dawson battling for it in the centre. I tell you what, we're aiming for Dawson. We're aiming in the middle. I like these corners so far. That one doesn't work out, but that's fine. Emerson lays it short to Benrahma. Back to... Oh, sorry, no. Benrahma has the ball now. It was back from, I believe, Cresswell. Not that these details matter. It's going to be a throw into West Ham right by the left-hand side corner flag. There you go. Jasper's coming through with intel. If you're looking for a way to watch the game, Jasper's got the intel. Paqueta lays it short. Sufal whips it in from the right-hand side, looking for Ogbonna, who is still forward. And it's well over. He was underneath it. He was leading back. It was never going to work out, but it was close. I have to apologise. The score is my fault. My brother is a Brentford fan. I got him a framed signed Ivan Toney photo for his birthday next week. No joke. Listen, I can't blame you, mate. I can't blame you. Brentford have a player down. It's Ben Me. I can't blame you. I can't blame you. It sounds like a solid present for a Brentford fan, to be fair. Breckeridge spent the money on Skamaka on Toney. I really like Ivan Toney as a striker. I can't lie. I mean, he's obviously in some trouble at the moment, and it is what it is. Look at that hair. What is going on there? He's obviously in some trouble now, and it is what it is. But I like him a lot as a striker. Purely footballing reasons, purely in a football sense. I really, really like him, and I thought he was someone that would have really suited us under David Moyes. Instead, we decided to buy someone completely the opposite of Antonio, which I don't really still understand at this point. I understand if we were looking to play something different, right? And like today, for example, we're playing this sort of three at the back system. We're doing something a bit different than usual, that kind of stuff. Maybe we were aiming to do something different, but specifically with Skamaka, we're still not really playing to his strengths at all. I don't know. Did they just show Mad Dog Martin Allen in the stands? What a guy. He managed Brentford. I went to see them when they was managing them. I know people who supported Brentford, and I remember going to see him when Mad Dog was their manager. I think that's what I just saw. Not 1,000% certain, but that's what it seemed like. There we go. Thank you very much. Major's back in the beef. I respect it. My thing is now going badly. Same. it's not a fact of Skamaka being bad in the box. It's just us not putting good balls in. Yeah, I agree with you, Mr. Pardew. I strongly agree with you. I was having a conversation about you the other day. I strongly agree, Alan Pardew, as a managerial expert, of course. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. Look, it's one of those things, isn't it? I think realistically, he just plays differently. I think today, when you look at it, for example, it's not working for me, and I don't necessarily think that's wrong. I don't necessarily think that's wrong. It just isn't happening today, and that's the way these things go sometimes. That's the way these things go sometimes. I think we could use something a bit different in and around the box. I'm now a minute behind where I was. You love to see it. I think that's not necessarily that's not necessarily the end of the world. It's just not happening. I think Mikel Antonio would provide something. Oh, ball into the box. Can't quite get to Scamacca, sorry. It's just, I think Antonio's movement would provide a little bit more when we're in possession. I mean, when we're crossing it from wide, when the idea is to just play it out to the width, get it to either Emerson or Cresswell or Sufal and just whip the ball into the box, then, yeah, Scamacca is probably the better option out of the two of them, right? Big guy. He's not really any good in the air whatsoever, but... Jared Bowen almost managed to keep that. Not really any good in the air whatsoever, but, he's at least a presence. A presence that Mikel Antonio doesn't tend to be anymore. When he was younger, incredible in the air. Unfathomably good somehow. But specifically now, yeah, whatever it is, right? However, when we have possession of the ball, I think I'd make the argument for Mikel Antonio today. Just someone who's going to move around a lot, someone who's going to create chaos, create problems. That's kind of where I'm at. I don't know. What's really annoying there is I waited a minute to be able to press play on this again, to be at the time that it was correct. And the second it gets there, my thing stops again. That was annoying. But yeah, this is what I'm trying to say, right? We're struggling. We can't find that final pass. And I think with Scamacca, that's not going to help us find that final pass. I think Mikel Antonio could help us in that endeavour. I don't think Scamacca will be able to help us in that, unfortunately. That's just not him. It's just not his game. That's not a negative towards him. That's just not his game. And so if you're not doing that, then what's the point? Really? You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at. Might be harsh, might be wrong about it, but that's just I think that final third, it's not even the final third, it is literally just the final pass. We just cannot find in the box. We just can't find people. We just can't find what we need. It is what it is. Anyway, I'm still trying to find a way to watch the game, so we're having a grand old time over here. Keeps coming in and out, so I'm struggling somewhat. Let's go back to here. Let's see if any of these are working right. It's annoying because I had one that was really good earlier, and then it just stopped, and it's not come back. There we go. Oh no, it's literally played for all of 1 second and then stopped again. Right, we're gonna change this to where it's at. And I'm gonna get real annoyed. I tell you what, we're gonna do is I'm building a bit of buffer for when it inevitably skips about. It's about 10 seconds behind where I'm at. Still. Oh, we're getting instant skippage. There we go. Three minutes left, plus stoppage time of the first half. It's 1-0 to Brentford. We were doing so well at the beginning. Dean, thank you very much. I'll get on that in a second. We were doing so well in the beginning. I've just seen the chat. Let's see. We were doing so well in the beginning. West Ham are playing the ball around right now, passing it amongst the defenders. And since their goal, we've just not had any real anything. Paqueta trying to find Emerson. It's behind him. Goes out for a throw into Brentford. Oh, they're throwing. Tony's got in round the back. Ivan Toney, 2-0. Ivan Toney just pulled Aaron Cresswell. He pulled him to the side and went, I'm just going to score this one. Is that right? And he finishes it beautifully. Ivan, that's a really nice finish. Aaron Cresswell. I mean, Geo Geo at the beginning of the game spoke about Aaron Cresswell not having any pace. And Jesus Christ, he was just absolutely done there. That is an awful goal to concede. If there ever was a damning indictment of West Ham United right now, and I mean, you can't. I mean, that's nothing to say nothing of Moyes, because Jesus Christ is bad enough to begin. That was awful. That was absolutely abysmal. You have a poor pass from Paqueta behind Emerson, goes out for a throw, and then quite a simple long throw over the top. Ivan Toney spins, turns in behind Aaron Cresswell. And when I say blitzes him for pace, it's not even close. It's not even close. He just flies past him. Aaron Cresswell. That is awful. That is truly, truly awful. Yeah, it's 2-0 to Brentford. And like I said, it's a shame because we were starting so well. We started so strongly. It might not have been Toney. It looked like Toney to me. It might not have been him. I haven't been able to see it a second and third time yet. Whoever it was absolutely blitzed him for pace. Oh, it's Ivan Toney with a pass. Okay. I've just heard the commentator say Ivan Toney with a pass to Silva with a goal. Toney assist. Thank you very much. Thank you. I mean, again, I said it earlier, right? Ivan Toney can drop deep and pick out passes, you know. It's not difficult, man. It's bad. It's bad. We're in a rough situation here. 2-0, and it's... The thing is, I don't have any confidence in us coming back into this either. We've done all right. It's not like we've been that bad, but I just don't have any real confidence in us coming back into this. I mean, if it was... Because we've been doing okay, that's what makes it worse. If we were doing awful, if we were doing absolutely atrocious, and we clearly had levels we could step up into, then I'd be like, okay, maybe we can fight back. We can find our way back into this, fight a little bit, get our way forward. But realistically, I think in those first 15 minutes before they scored, you saw the best we have to offer. Right now, as a unit, I think we saw the best we have to offer. And that was 15 minutes, and at half time, it looks like we're going to be 2-0 down. So, like, do I have any confidence we're going to come back to this? Not really, no. Not really. West Ham are passing around at the back now, trying to find a way forward. It goes to a big long boot forward. Sufal somehow manages to win that header, but Jared Bowen can't win the second attempt. He fouls someone on the way through. It's going to be a free kick to Brentford. Oh, look, I'll be honest with you. So I'll be fully honest with you. I thought Aaron Cresswell has been one of our best players for a while. Under David Moyes, I would put him up there as one of our best and most consistent players. And for the beginning 10 games of the season, I would have said that. But, like, that is ridiculous. That is mad. That is mad. Just over a minute to go until half time. I suspect there'll be incredibly loud boos at half time. This game ends 2-0. I'm still pretty sure David Moyes doesn't go, which is probably a big problem. But I mean, Woody Allen asked me at the beginning of the show, is performance more important, or is result more important today? Well, we're getting neither of them, really. I mean, performances have been better for that opening 15 minutes than we have been, but that final third has still been all over the shop, and the result has gone equally as poorly, equally as Pete Tong. Bowen, that's not a bad ball in, but it's going to get cleared away from Brentford. I can't tell because it's skipping, but it's going to get cleared away. What would it take? 4-0? I think it would take more than a 2-0 loss. 4-0 he would go. But I don't know if 3-0 would do it. My thing has crashed right before halftime. So let me know if the halftime whistle comes. It's just so annoying, man. That is so flipping annoying. Shot from Paqueta. Wide. I don't know if it takes a touch or not. He's saying it should be a corner. He's very angry that he hasn't got a corner. But we could butt it off because Geo Mackey's here, so I'm just going to assume it's halftime anyway. Hello, how are you? I'll say this. Do you know what's really annoying about it? First 15 minutes, we were good, but we didn't. That in the area we were just crap. But we were doing stuff. We were doing stuff. And I think the second they scored, it turned out we didn't even know how to do stuff anymore. We just sort of passed it around. But it wasn't like they were pushing us. It wasn't like they were pressing us. It wasn't like they were making it difficult. They were letting us pass it around. And to be fair, they could. There's no need to. Like, what are we going to do? We couldn't. It's not like we were doing anything in the box anyway. You might as well just let us pass it around, wait for us to give us your ball, and then you can go and play football. You know? That's the most annoying part about it for me, to some extent.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the first 15 minutes. I thought you've got to build up confidence in game as well. And we're coming into it in poor form. And we were knocking the ball about quite well. And Brentford sat back and we didn't really create anything. Rice hit the post after 5 minutes, and then Dawson nearly scored from a header on the 10th minute or something. Oh, here we go. This is good. Our tails are up here. Then they got the goal, and I thought it was a relatively good reaction from us. We continued doing what we were doing, which was knock it about quite well, but without really creating anything from open play. And then just embarrassing from Aaron Creswell, really, and it's game over now. We ain't coming back from this. We might score. I think we will score, but I can't see us getting anything from the game now. And
that's the thing. It's like if we were in a situation where I felt like we still had levels to step up into, then I would maybe go, okay, right, we need a little bit more, but we find that bit and maybe we can get back a bit into this game. Maybe we can find something. I have zero confidence we have any more to give than what we've just given. Zero whatsoever. That first 15 minutes, I think, was the best you're going to be at right now at this moment. I think that first 15 minutes is the best you're going to be able to get out of West Ham right now. And that ended in them scoring and then them scoring again and then us looking completely toothless for the rest of the half.
The problem is, Charlie, the pressure's on Moyes to make subs now. He's got to do something. He can't just keep doing what we were doing. He might do, but I think it'd be a bit daft. So I think there's no pressure on him to do a substitution, possibly even at half time. And this sub ain't going to work. He's not going to get it right. There's probably about 10 subs he can do, and possibly only 2 will work. The other 8 will either continue as we are or possibly even get worse. This game's prime for Brentford in the second half. They like playing counter-attacking football. They like going long to Tony Mbeumo, and this game's set up for them to do that now. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Interesting to see what Moyes does. It won't really. I'm lying. I'm not really that interested. I'm worried about what he's going to do. But if we get a goal before the hour mark, it's game on again, and the crowd will get up for it. But I just don't know, mate. I just don't have much optimism, if I'm honest, because we've got a clear game plan, which is crosses, and some more crosses. But we've met one from Ogbonna, Sufal's cross to Ogbonna, that's it. The Dawson one came from a corner. Skamaka got on the end of a chip from Sufal. It was a very difficult one to do. That Brentford 3 are fine. They're not arsed about us crossing the ball so often. Rhea's collecting most of them as well. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't see what we're going to do that's going to see us improve after the break, quite frankly. I think we'll keep doing the same thing, and I think the results will be the same.
I think before I go, the only thing we can, this is my genuine belief, the only thing we can do which will change something is bringing on Antonio for Skamaka. In a positive sense, that's the only thing I can think of. You bring him on to just create that. Cal said it to me on Analytics once. He used the term Antonio as a vortex of chaos. And I say it a lot. I don't think he really knows what he's doing most of the time, but the fact he's just doing it is annoying and puts people in weird and odd positions. That's the only thing
I think
can
I'd
think
put
of.
Antonio up front alongside Skamaka, to be honest. I think I'd just go
Maybe.
for it. Honestly, the fire's
There's nothing
lit.
to
You might as
lose.
well just chuck some fuel on it at this point. Do you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
go out in a blaze of glory if you're going to. Get Creswell off. Because I think O'Bonnell's playing quite well, actually. I think Dawson's playing fine. And Creswell, that was just sheer embarrassing for their goal there.
Yeah,
To
it was,
get
yeah.
done like that was just... It's just pussy stuff. Do you know what I mean? He allowed De Silva just to push him out the way, and just knock him, push him over, clip him or something. Make the referee do so. As soon as you feel the player contact you, go down and drag him down with you. So chances are you're going to get the free kick, because it's going to take a lot of bollocks for the referee to go actually free kick to De Silva on this occasion. But to just get out the way of him.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you can do. So I'd probably take Creswell off, put Antonio on, just fucking go for it. We're 2-0 down. At this point, if his job is on the line, 2-0, 4-0 loss, what difference does it make, really? The end result is the same. You might as well chuck Antonio on and just keep doing your crossing thing, because we are creating plenty of opportunities to get the ball in. We are crossing it a bit. I think there's been times where we are dilly-dallying a little bit when we could have hit it in sooner. But I keep looking at Benrahma, Creswell and Emerson down at left-hand side, creating opportunities to cross it. Skamaka's the only one in the box. It's almost like, well, what's the point? He's been marshalled by 3 bloody good aerial centre-backs there. Just go for it, Moyes. Just go and try and get back into this game. And do you know something? Get a goal before the hour mark. Like I said, in Brentford will get a bit nervous, but at the minute, I think they're pretty comfortable. Rhea hasn't made a save yet.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'll see you in a minute.
Right then, let's see what you're all saying. I'm trying to stay calm, to be honest with you, but let's have a little look and see what you're all saying. Last Dog says that Brentford are not playing that well, but we're giving them an easy game. People to it's how Brentford like to play away from home. They like to sit back and absorb it and play counter-attacking football. They've done it. It's worked for them. Perfect. The funny thing is, I think Moyes has almost been Moyes here today. That what we're seeing from Brentford is how Moyes wants us to play. Quite ironic. Connor says 2 quick goals makes all the difference. Trouble is, West Ham can't hit a barn door. Sniffer says you can take Emerson off. I'll tell you what, when I saw Paqueta down and then I was like, well, who's going to bring on? But you saw Fornals and Souček warming up. I thought, don't do it. He might bring on Souček. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's see what you're all saying then. Sean says so many crosses, just put Dawson up front. I mean, Dawson almost went up front on himself at one occasion. Jasper says last couple of times, Caswell got sprinted past like that. He pulled the striker down, got sent off. So kind of an improvement. Lewis said he's annoyed. Don't feel like we played too bad in possession, apart from the 2 terrible pieces of defending and no invention up front. They can sit 5 at the back now and deal with her. I mean, this is the problem, though, isn't it? Between the 18-yarders, we are doing all right. But the problem is what happens in the 18-yarders is what determines the outcome of the game. And that's where Brentford are better than us. Major, my Chinese was quite good, actually. It must be quite quiet because it was really nice and really quick. It turned up a lot earlier than expected. Jazza says we need to play Benrahma through the middle ahead of Paqueta and Rice, who's our most dangerous player. I have to say, I think Benrahma's playing brilliant tonight, bar his crossing. I think some of the touches he's done, he's running by players. I think he's playing really, really well. I think he's doing good. Thomas said teams know can't hit a donkey's backside with a banjo. There's no belief in what the game plan is. Artel says devoid of attacking ideas is David Moyes. Mick says it's hard to stay calm and we'll have to watch this. Mr. Pickle says slow around the final third. Centrally, we offer nothing going forward. Paqueta and Rice are on halfway line when we're attacking. Need to not be afraid to take a shot on edge. Well, this is the closest we've come to scoring. Paqueta just before the break. Declan Rice hitting the post. Just a bit more urgency required from our bloody team. WHU Hammer says good midfield, crap defence and connection to the final third. Power play wants to see both strikers on together. Webb Gibbs says stay calm. It's a total embarrassment. It's a bit difficult when you're 2-0 down, a point outside of relegation zone, to be fair. Elaine says she'd build this team around soldiers who will be strong, physical, run through brick walls for the gaffer. Benji says, don't stay calm. Go off on one. Hey. Gibbs says, I've got to be calm. Right, let's see what you're all saying. Dylan says that Chris will offer Antonio's only sub that will work. The problem is it'll just open us up defensively. But like I said, we've just got to go for something, haven't we? Do we think he'll get sacked? I did say the only way he'll get sacked is if we get a hide-in, and I would consider to be a goal away. I always think 2-0 to 3-0 is the big thing, but I don't think he'll be. I don't think he'll be gone. Rick says Moyes will be gone tonight. I don't think so. I don't think he'll be sacked tonight. Dylan says he's having a lovely evening with his girlfriend. He's not letting Moyes ruin it. Good man. You enjoy yourself, sunshine. Nate says no matter the formation of the players, the same old rubbish over and over again. Farmer Chris says Moyes won't be sacked. The board won't do it. We're going to need riots before it happens. Malik says, do you think Moyes will go for it? And that's a good point, actually. I think he'll keep doing what we've been doing. I think Moyes will say we've been a bit unlucky. We've been a better team. This is what I think Moyes will say. And for that reason, I think he'll just continue as we have been for the second half. I don't think we'll see any substitutions. I could be wrong. He might decide to do something at half time. I'm just checking the game, but to see they were coming back out if there was any subs of that. But I think he'll keep it as it is for a little while anyway and see what happens. I agree with this. Steve says Ben Ram and Sufal's crossing is awful when you're relying on it. Completely agree. Creswell, Emerson both hit the first man with a cross as well. The idea is to get crosses in, but they're just not very good. The few that have come into the box, like I said, Ray's been collecting it pretty easy. Lambie says the next goal is massive, but he's pretty sure that Tony is going to get it. Lewis says the goals we concede feels like the goals a team concedes before the manager gets sacked. I have to say, Ben says Brentford gave up a 2-goal lead last game. That's fair. I mean, it's factually correct. Tottenham did it with 15 minutes to go or something like that. They took it back. Right, let me see what you're all saying. I'm trying to skip the chat a little bit because I'm aware I'm behind quite a bit. The one thing I will say is I had Nigel Winterburn's words ringing in my head watching that first half. Nigel Winterburn, when I spoke to him, I just want to click on something. Well, someone made me smile. Where did he go? Here he goes. Curse you made me smile there. He said, you experts know nothing. We are challenger for Europe. I like that. Thank you. I needed that. That was a nice little smile. Nigel Winterburn said that when in the season West Ham got relegated with likes of Di Canio in the team, he said that they would start the games pretty well. They were playing some good football. They weren't scoring, but they were playing some good football. They got a goal down. That was it. It was just gone. You know, you could hear people get a little bit, oh, here we go again. And the confidence would just disappear just like that. And I couldn't help but thinking that. And when we went 1-0 down, I couldn't help but think of what Nigel Winterburn said about that team that got relegated. You start good, you're playing good football, you just can't score. You got to go down. That's it. Confidence is shredded. And you go again next week and the same thing happens again. Anyway, Charlie, you're back now.
Yeah. It's one of those situations where you have to pick yourselves up, and if you don't have the ability to pick yourselves up, it's just not going to happen. And I look at this, and I look at West Ham right now, and I don't see an ability to pick ourselves up. You asked me a year ago, I would have said yes. We might be able to, maybe not win, but we would be able to, take some steps forward and try and make something happen. But for me, I just don't see anything. I mean, do we have any hope, Geo? That's the question I would ask for the finale.
No, I don't, Charlie, if I'm honest with you. I think, like I said, we've played some good football in between the 18-yarders, but the problem is matches are usually decided upon what happens within both 18-yarders, and Brentford have been better than us, both ends of the pitch in that regards. We're playing some pretty football on the eye, but it's not really effective, is it? It's very sideways. It's very, you have it. No, you have. Okay, I'll have it. You cross it. Oh, no, you cross it. All right, I'll cross it. Oh, Rhea's caught it again. It's very timid football, is what I would say. You can tell we're lacking a little bit of confidence, and Paqueta's been sloppy with his passes. There's been a couple of through balls that weren't really on that he tried. Their second goals from Paqueta's pass, which was, a yard behind Ben Rama and 2 yards in front of Emerson. It was right through the middle of them. They both looked at each other and looked at Paqueta thinking, hang on a minute, who was that to? It was firm. It was just inaccurate. It's just sloppy. Anyway, I better go. That's the mouse. But yeah, no, Charlie, honestly, I don't have much hope. But if we score before the hour mark, make it 2-1, game on. But after that, I just think there'll be too little time. And Moyes' subs worrying me. I've just got a feeling he's not going to get it right.
Well, we'll take that last bit of confidence. Thank you very much, Geo. See you at full time if you want to hear more common sense. Not hacking around until then. Until then, you'll be live with me throughout the rest of the second half, unfortunately, as we watch this. So thank you very much for joining me. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. We were in the West Ham channel last season who did a watch along every single match game, but that also includes, of course, the build-up show and the review after. So stick around until that, because Geo Gonzo will be talking reaction to everything that happens as we move forward. But like the video, we have hit 300. We're flying past 300. We're at 338 right now, so we're playing with house money. Let's see where we can get that number up to, ladies and gentlemen, as West Ham play it around. No changes at halftime that I can see. Let me know if there have been any. I don't seem to see any. I can't hear the commentary, but we'll see. I don't think there's been any changes. Good to see you, by the way, normal Brentford. You're welcome here. I would say don't try and actively start fights, but you're more than welcome here otherwise. Congratulations on beating a bad team, but congratulations. I like Brentford, so you're more than welcome, my friend. We have Fetty Wops in the chat. What a time to be alive. I mean, it's definitely how I'm reading it anyway. Ball out wide to Emerson. Dribbles it inwards. That was maybe an opportunity for a pass forward, but nothing really that concrete. Ends up playing it back to Paqueta. Dawson coming forward. Dawson getting dangerously far forward there. Tries to play it to Emerson. It's a bad pass, but thankfully Aaron Cresswell's there to pick it up. A little bit of awkwardness between him and Emerson. He keeps holding the ball out on the left-hand side, looking for a crossing opportunity between the two of them, and Said Benrahma, who's also there. He's being absolutely manhandled by, I think it was Zanka, and now Brentford collect the ball. They can sprint forward here. It's Mbuemo. Rice just trying to bundle him off. It's a good tackle, good defending from Declan Rice, something we haven't seen enough of this year, in my opinion. He does really well there. That's so good. That's what he's best at. Look at that tackle, and then he just charges forward with the ball. That's a really nice diag as well. Finds Jarrod Bowen wide on the right-hand side. Stops anything from Brentford going forward. He goes down. Referee says nothing to do with it. It's a free kick. Free kick outside of the box. Outside of the box. Free kick for West Ham. It was very, very close. Jarrod Bowen wide. Picks up the ball. Cuts it inwards. Goes for him. I tell you what, that's unbelievably tight. Ben Mee with a tackle. I think it is maybe just outside the box. I think the contact is just outside. Yeah, no, it is outside the box. It is outside the box. It is a free kick. It is outside the box. 100%. 100%. I mean, VAR will probably check it, but they'll check it and say it's outside the box. I'm very confident that's outside the box. I should say, by the way, if you are looking for a way to watch the game, because, of course, it is not on legally, at least in the United Kingdom, there are definitely ways you can go ahead and check it out. Might be on the screen right now or not. We're seeing a replay of the VAR now. I'm very confident that's outside the box. I can't see how that's inside. It is what it is. But a free kick in a very good area. Basically a slightly advanced corner. Get all the big men forward. Find a little chip dink in towards the sort of 6-yard box between that and the centre spot. Declan Rice is currently shouting at someone to do something. This could be something. Soufal standing over it, as is Bowen. I'm very desperate for Jarrod Bowen not to go for a shot here. He looks like he's slightly shaping for one. He's got his eyes looking at the goal. I would really like us to cross this. We do have some of the big boys in there. Ogbona's in there. Dawson's in there. Skamaka's in there, but he's never scoring a header, so it makes no difference. This feels like Bowen, whip it into a dangerous area. One of those, get your head on it. Sufal runs over it to it. Bowen goes for shot. Of course he does. Emerson, oh, no, not happening. And now Brentford can come away with it. Rico Henry goes for a big boot upfield, looking for Mbuemo. Battling with Lucas Paquetá, who does well there to collect the ball and manages to find it back to Lucas Fabianski, who ends up hoofing it under the pitch under some pressure from Ivan Toney. Jared Bowen wasting it there. I don't know why the hell he decided to go for that, but he did. Felt like a massive, massive waste from me. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, that's a good ball into the path of Ivan Toney. Good defending there from Aaron Cresswell. He was gifted it a little bit, but he gets it away, so I'm not going to complain too much. And then Said Benrahma charging at Zanka, trying to make it happen. He gets dispossessed under a huge... He's battling with everyone, Said Benrahma. Said Benrahma doing really well there, fighting for it massively. Can't get there. Get the beefy men forward. Come on, Sean. That's the vibe. That's the vibe. Yes, Sean. I'm loving it. I have a pen today, and I've realised I'm just fiddling with it, but there we go. That's where we're at. Big boot forward from Aaron Cresswell, looking for Skamaka, nowhere close to him. Headed down from Pinnock. West Ham have had 66% possession of the ball. We've had 9 shots compared to Brentford's 4 as well, interestingly. But on target, all of Brentford's have been on target. 2 of ours have, which sort of gives you some idea. But we've had way more possession. I mean, that's the sort of one of the worst parts about it. Paquetá plays it out wide to Emerson on the left-hand side. Starts to take it forwards. Laid short to Benrahma. Paquetá with a nice overlap. Doesn't get picked out. Or sorry, Emerson with a nice overlap. Doesn't get picked out. Finds Declan Rice backwards instead. Finds Emerson now on the left. West Ham shaping for a cross. It's not a great cross around Cresswell. It's into a decent area, but it was way too low. Declan Rice picks up the ball again. He was trying for that diag towards Sufal. Can't quite find it. Again, lots of possession right now. Lots of possession. West Ham just but with nothing, but with no idea with it at all. Just none whatsoever. It's annoying. It's very annoying. It's very annoying because we have a hell of a lot of possession and we're sort of getting to it. Lord forgive me for saying this. It feels very Pellegrini. You know what I mean? And I mean, obviously what we're doing with the ball and where we have possession and everything else is very, very different. Jared Bowen struggling his way through there, but does win a free kick just outside the area. We'll take that. That's a good position for a free kick. If we had anyone who could... If we had anyone who was remotely good at free kicks, I'd be interested. But Jared Bowen starting to do the exact sort of thing that we did against Arsenal, which got him the pen. Free kick is quite a distance away, though. It would have to be something special from there. To be fair, we do have Benrahma, who's not a bad free kick taker. He's standing over it alongside... Is that Aaron Cresswell? I think that's Aaron Cresswell. I'd be shocked if we went for a shot. It's not a bad hit, but it's over from Aaron Cresswell. No, we're really close to it. The Pellegrini thing, right? It's not necessarily that we're playing the same way we did under Pellegrini, and obviously, we're having the ball in different areas. But with Pellegrini, we were really good up until the final third. And when we got around the opponent's box, we just looked like we had no idea what to do with it. You want football to be muscle memory, right? You want people to, when they have the ball, or when the ball is, before they even get the ball, when they know they're about to get the ball, that they know where they're going to play the ball. Do you know what I mean? Declan Rice collects the ball. Soufal's already making that run. And we sort of have that with David Moyes. We have that in this system. There is a little bit of muscle memory there. But what would happen at Pellegrini is we'd get to their area, and then all of a sudden we go from taking that 1-2 touch thing where you know what you're going to do, to taking 5, 6, 7 touches, as everyone sort of stops and thinks about it and looks around and goes, right, where am I going to pass? Where am I going to pass? What are we going to do with it? And in this situation, Aya's not starting for Brentford. In this situation, that's what it feels like. We get to the edge of their box, and then we don't really know what to do with it. We're trying the same thing, right? We're trying the thing we will always do under David Moyes, and that's cross the ball. We'll play it out wide to the fullbacks who get forward, to, in this situation, Cresswell who gets forward, and we'll try and whip the ball in from there. But that's what we're trying to do, but it feels like there's nothing. It just feels like there's nothing there. Brentford are getting ready to make a sub, which sort of, the fact it's them making the first sub and not us is a bit wild, considering the second half has not gone that strongly for us. It just feels a bit Pellegrini in that sense. It's very annoying. Free kick from Brentford in a good position, kind of like a corner. Nothing comes of it. Dawson at the far side. Nice pass outward to Soufal, who finds Declan Rice. Find Pekatar. There we go. Get a bit more into the game. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Spread out wide to Emerson. But they're just sat there waiting for it, man. Rice plays it out to Cresswell. Part of the problem with this midfield too, and it's exactly what we thought would happen in the game, and it's exactly played out, is that Emerson in a decent position goes for a sort of reverse pass with his weak foot, can't quite make it work. It's going to be a throw into West Ham on the left-hand side. Part of the problem with playing Pekatar in this position alongside Declan Rice in a sort of 2 in this midfield 3 is one of the things that made Rice and Souček work so well is they both had elements of the game that worked going forward, and they had a really nice understanding of when one goes forward, one stays back, and they both had defensive sides of the game and they both had attacking sides of the game. So it sort of worked out, right? Pekatar is not a defensive midfielder. He's just not. Okay, he'll put in the work. He'll put in the graft. Oh, Jared Bowen does well with the interception there, and wriggles past the player. He's going to shoot from range. It's easy in the end for Raya, but it was a decent chance. He'll put in the work and he'll put in the graft, but he's not a defensive midfielder. He's not really that good defensively, right? And all of his abilities are going forward. That's where all of the best parts of him are going forward. And so when you're in this specific situation, when you're playing him alongside Rice, and Rice does have some license to go forward, this has not been a game by any stretch of the imagination where Rice has been told to sit deep and do nothing else. He has got forward at times. Maybe not as much as he would usually do or he would want to or whatever, but he has definitely sat deep at times. If that happens when he does go forward, when Rice does go forward, that means Pekatar has to sit deep. And it's kind of just completely pointless. Janelt is coming on for Brentford alongside Wissa. And it's Mbemo coming off alongside Jensen. So Jensen and Mbemo are coming off for Wissa and Janelt. They seem to be pretty much straight swaps. Is it going to be Dyche? I mean, look, if he goes, I would be 75% certain that it would be either Dyche or Parker. Don't know which one, but it'd be one of them. I don't think either of them are correct. I think out of the two of them, I would prefer Dyche. Jesus Christ, would I not want Scott Parker? I just know, but I would be pretty certain it would be one of them. All close for Brentford. Ivan Toney almost manages to find a way through there. It's going to be a throw into them deep in our half, right outside the penalty area. They're going to get a throw in from the right-hand side. Oh, yeah, but he's a better player than him as well. But yeah, he also has more to his game than him. He's just a better player than Scamacca. It's just the difference is David Moyes bought Scamacca. So you have to ask yourself why. Like David Moyes bought him. Like it wasn't. It's not a situation like where David Moyes had him when he turned up. No, he bought him. So you have to think there'd be more there. But I agree. Silva trying to whip the ball in. It gets played out, and all the way to Raya, who comes forward. That's a really nice. Okay, it doesn't work out. It goes a little bit too far ahead. It's going to be a frame. But it was a nicely done by Raya. Nice idea. There's another player down for Brentford. Not sure who it was. Apparently it was a collision with Scamacca. He's holding his ear or the side of his head. It was Roslav who's gone down under pressure from Scamacca. By pressure, it looks like he just swiped him in the air. I'll be honest with you. That's what it looked like to me. Warburton or Rafa. Rafa's the other person I would be fairly confident in being in that bracket with Dyche and Parker. And out of the three of them, I would want Rafa. I would be relatively okay with Rafa Benitez as a manager for West Ham. I know that's a bit crazy given the last time he was a manager in the Premier League. I understand that, but I think Rafa Benitez has a great track record of getting the best out of players and being able to mold being able to mold stuff going forward. You know, I would be but. None of those three are ideal, if we're being honest. It looked like he just sideswiped him in the head to me, but who knows? That second goal, I'm just seeing a replay of it now. Jesus Christ. De Silva just made Aaron Cresswell look like such an idiot. Such an absolute idiot. 371 likes, by the way. Thank you very much, everyone. Just thought I'd take the opportunity to do it while Roslev was down. He looks like he's going to stay on. He has. Wisser is on. Wisser has come on about 5 minutes ago. Just FYI. Logan, I apologise for missing it. Do you think we should sell Rice in January? I'm very confident we won't get relegated. If we change manager, that might change. But under David Moyes, I'm very confident we won't get relegated. Now, that being said, we might finish 17th. I don't think we're going to turn it around and be this incredible team. I don't think David Moyes is going to turn around the bad form. But I'm confident we won't go down. I mean, you've probably heard me say it, Logan. I've probably said it on shows with you. You've been on Two Spanners. I've probably said it then. I think I've been saying we should have sold Rice for the last 18 months. I don't think we would get any more money now than we would have got from 18 months ago. I've been saying this for a while. But we did our usual thing of freaking out whenever someone shows interest in one of our players, and now their money's going to go down. I don't know. Do we sell him in January? Maybe, but God knows. Maybe, but God knows. Probably not. Unless we have a plan, then probably not. But yeah, it would have to be for the right money, and we'd have to have a plan in place of how to fix that situation. Love it. Get him in. Oh, Mike Bassett. We'll be playing 4-4 flipping 2. Let's go. That was very much David Moyes' 3 at the back moment today. Do you know what I mean? Very similar. 62, 63 minutes in. This game feels done. There doesn't feel to be much pressure in it. There doesn't feel to be much zhuzh, much verve, much anything in it, really. Ball played forward to Ivan Toney. He's got Wisser in the centre. He's got someone else backing him up. He looked for Wisser. It was an emphatic pass, but it wasn't anywhere near him. Fabianski collects it. Try to play it out and then instantaneously onto it, slows it down. It just feels done. I can't lie. It just feels done. Look, I would love Bielsa, but I think it would go very wrong. I think it would go very, very wrong indeed. But I can't act like I would enjoy watching it. You want me to be confident we're not going to go down? Do not get Bielsa, because I am not confident under Bielsa that we won't go down. It might go incredibly, but it might also turn awful. Antonio is going to come on for Emerson. Antonio was just messaging to someone what the formation was going to be, and I didn't quite see. I saw the word 4, which might think 4. It might be 4-4-2. It might be 4-4-2. It might be exactly what Geo said, except instead of taking off Cresswell, you put on Emerson. I mean, Antonio's instantly taken up a role in the middle, up front. Bowen is wide on the right. Benrahma is wide on the left. I think it is 4-4-2. Declan Rice does well there. Into the path of Antonio. Tries to find Scamacca, who just wasn't running. I mean, it's something. Let's see how it affects the game. Like I said, I would have brought on Antonio probably at halftime for Scamacca. That would have been my sub. I think him coming on can only... Before I lob in some famous last words, I think him coming on could only be positive for us going forward. We'll see how that works out. I just realised we were talking about Mike Bassett and then we literally went 4-4-2. Oh, David Moyes. You know what I mean? What's he doing? West Ham are playing the ball around the back, but who cares? Well, what's he doing? Rice to Paqueta. Craig Dawson goes for it. It's wide, but I tell you what. At this point, why not have a 40-yard screamer from Craig Dawson? Why not? Fair. Antonio came on, Antonio came on for Emerson, and we have gone 4-4-2 as Dean has confirmed. Thank you very much. We're going to be seeing another Brentford sub. They're making their third. It's De Silva coming off. Jay De Silva. And Godos is coming on for him. 4-4 flipping 2. There's a swear word in there usually, but I'm being... Strongly disagree as per usual. Decker's coming through with the strong vibes. Yes. Also, Elaine, I'm not going to lie to you, right? So you've been talking for most of the... just for fun, Bells. There's been a call for Bells. That's the first one I've seen today. Elaine, where are you? I just saw it. I've missed it again. Elaine, I'm not going to lie. The chat's been moving relatively quickly. I've missed most of what you said at some point. And now you're rocking a Paulie Dangerously lyric. A Paulie Dangerously reference, sorry. With the big phone? Get the big fella? Get the big the phone out? A Paulie Dangerously reference? Elaine, I'm glad I didn't bang you now if you're bringing that kind of references to the party. Let's go. The Dangerous Alliance. You know what I mean? Where's Gokantor when you need him? I would take Paul Heyman or Al Snow's mop at this point. Al Snow had head. The mop was, what's his name? Perry Saturn. Thank you very much. Okay, there's been enough calls for Bells where I'm going to put the poll in chat. I'm going to put the poll up. Bell, yes or no? Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. I will put it up until... Let's do 69. Why not? You know what I mean? Did Don West pass away? Damn. Rest in peace, Don West. I did not know that. Don't waste it. I mean, listen, the chat's the one who makes the decision. It's not me. We either eat the bell for luck or, whatever. I'll tell you what, it's close. It's relatively close right now. It could go either way. 40 seconds left to vote. If we go down, yes, as many as we can. Although once you go down, the amount of games that get streamed goes down significantly. It would go down significantly. 15 more seconds. I'm just keeping a look at the timer. Oh damn! I didn't know that. That's bad. Rest in peace, Don West. I did not hear about that at all. I've really been out of the loop, haven't I? Antonio hooks it away, and Ben Rahm was the closest to it, but he was never going to beat Rico Henry, who had a head start and also incredibly quick. I've just realised the timer has gone past. Let's end that poll. 137 people voted, and it is 67% say yes. 67% say yes. It's going to be a free kick to Brentford right on the edge of the area. So right, as this all happens, I'm going to sprint to the fridge. Also, I can see TNA chants in the shout. Let's go. Let's go. But hang on. I'll be back in a sec. Hang on. Hopefully they don't score in the meantime. I've got it. I have acquired the bell, ladies and gentlemen. The bell is here. Potentially the last bell of the year. Who knows? Who knows? Potentially the last bell. Depending on what happens. Maybe we call for another one. Who knows? I did almost bring the entire net because it was giving me trouble. We're almost at 400 likes, by the way. We're at 389, so house money's fun. Do you know what I mean? Once we hit the 300 number and we're just doing stuff, it's great, isn't it? Right. Anyway, 71st minute. It's going to be free kick to Brentford the bell is here as I undo the bell. Ivan Toney's standing over it alongside... I'm not sure who that is. Jan out. It's Jan out. About 20... It's just outside the area. About 20 something odd yards out. Tony hits it straight into the wall. Second time shot. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fabianski does stop it. A second time shot. I'm not sure who from. But it is out. Let me go, ladies and gentlemen. Uno. Dos. And we ain't talking evil Uno either. It's a good save in the end from Fabianski. Not sure who hooks it back towards goal, but it's a good save. Tony straight into Vladimir Sufal. It's Godos who hooks it. Flipped in by Godos. Hooked at far post. Doesn't quite work out. And Fabianski calling for the ball to take the goal quickly. This is good. But the pass to Declan Rice was too close to him. Tony managed to get back to the point where we played it back to defence. Big boot forward, looking for Antonio, and Brentford regained possession of the ball. It is what it is. Bloody hell, Gerrard. I forgot about Gerrard as an option. Please no, this is a really good opportunity for Brentford. They've slowed down enough to where it looks like it's not going to happen. They were so slow. We managed to get everyone back, but that was awful for Brentford. That was a really good opportunity for them. I forgot about Gerrard. Ugh. Declan Rice plays it out wide to side Ben Rama. I don't even think our board would hire Gerrard, to be fair. Bell, by the way, has been demolished. Out wide to the right-hand side, Vladimir Sufal finds Paqueta, back out to Rice. He's got Cresswell just on the outside of him, but he decides to run the opposite side and back to Sufal. Plays it in, it's close to Skamaka, but it's headed away nicely from Brentford's defence. Played out wide again. Ben Rama picks up the ball from Cresswell. It's put into a good area. Antonio heads it on. Over the top of everyone. It's going to be a goal kick to Brentford. Rare to take. Yeah, let's cause real issues, GB. Let's cause real issues. Yes, very yes. Jesus Christ, no on Gerrard. Big no on Gerrard. Big no on Gerrard. I forgot he even existed until someone said that, and now I'm just like, ugh. This is one of my favourite comments from opposition fans we've ever had. Raya, you better boot it so far it finds Wissa and Tony. Yeah, Raya. Big boot over the top. Ogbonna heads it down. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Big nose. Just big nose. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh! Raya just somehow getting it away there. Skamaka doing a little bit of something. Hopefully we'll see a replay so I could see it all. Geo sent me a message and I got bloody distracted. Rice finds Paquetá, tries to play it into Ben Rama, who under a little bit of pressure goes down. Don't think looking for a penalty. I think just turning around and being a bit whatever. Paquetá finds Skamaka, who turns and... It's not a bad shot. I mean, it's way too close to Raya, but it's not like Skamaka's had literally anything or done literally anything else in the game, so we'll take that. We'll take that as a positive sign, ladies and gentlemen. There's something happening. And then straight up the other end, he gives away a foul. Free kick taken quickly by Brentford. You love to see it. Oh, he plays advantage. Okay, fair enough. Antonio gets the control. That's nice. He has Ben Rama running ahead of him. Mikel Antonio takes past one. Shoots straight into the defender, directly in front of him. And then lays it back to Sufal. Okay. Skamaka from range. At this point, I'll be honest. If Skamaka has the ball, just shoot. Just shoot. He's one of the few players in this team I would trust to shoot from anywhere. Just have a pop. Oh, Mikel Antonio. He completely missed the ball when he tried to shoot. He just completely missed the ball. Antonio, please. Can we just have no manager? Listen, it's an option. It's an option. How is there 15 minutes to go in this game? Nothing has happened in this half, and yet somehow I just want... It just needs to be over. Whipped into the box towards Vissa. Gets a second opportunity at the bite of it. Turns, hits it straight into the hands of Fabianski. It's a very just a crap shot. West Ham come forward with it. Yes. This is what I need. I think I missed yours last time, which is disgraceful of me, and I apologise. I'd be here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. There's just so many questions to be asked about this. About just the summer. And I mean, realistically, I look at it and I think, you know, I think it's... They just cut to David Sullivan and his son Jack there, and you have to ask. There's just so many questions that need to be asked about what's happened, you know. And I think the truth is that you look at it and you say, well, David Moyes just can't adapt. I think that's the lesson. And I mean, I feel sorry for him because he's had a hell of a lot of injuries. And I think when he wanted to, he had a crap ton of injuries and it just flopped. But we're at the stage now where he just can't adapt, and going back to the old thing hasn't worked for him all season either. So, you know, and I feel sorry for him. I really do, but that has to be the conclusion. There's no other conclusion to really take from it. We've looked significantly different today than we usually do. Or good balling from Sufal. I can't quite get there. It's cleared away. It's going to be a throw. It looks, you know, we look significantly different, but the final third still remains the same. Pass it out wide and cross the ball into the box. That bit doesn't make any difference. And defensively, you know, out wide to Ben Rama. Lays it short to Paquetá. Just outside the area. Finds Cresswell. Tries to play it in. Deflected off. Good header from away. The Brentford defender, Ben Rama's fighting for it with Zanka. Cresswell manages to collect the ball from the header away. Paquetá tries to find Declan Rice. Good interception, and now Brentford can come forward. Ball over the top, looking for Wissa. Ogbonna just defends well. Just good positioning from him. He now has both an overlap and an underlap, and he finds a good... Oh, it was a nice idea from Brentford. Almost managed to find Yanel. Couldn't quite get there. It was an interesting idea. Good to see you, Glenn, by the way. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, is there any better time to do it than with a bunch of winnable fixtures and the January transfer window? I mean, we have no money for January, so I guess that really doesn't matter. But a bunch of winnable fixtures. You also have Brentford again in the Cup. I think it is the right time. I think for me, it's going to be a corner to West Ham, right-hand side. Jarabo to take it. Our corners haven't been bad today. They've not been super effective, but they've not been bad. And that's not a bad one again. To Dawson, who gets his head to it. I think it hits the bar and goes over. It may have been rare with a save, though. Either way, that was a decent corner. I'll tell you what, our corners have been all right today. He puts it into a good area, and Dawson gets his head to it. And it's Raya who makes the save going the opposite way. We're going to get another one here. Again, it's not a bad corner. Dawson, just wide. Again, our corners have been better today. That's one thing we can say. That's one thing we can take out of this. Not that it means literally anything, and we're still losing 2-0, and it'll probably end 2-0. So really, it's kind of pointless to say. But our corners have been good today. I'll give it that. Thomas Souček has come onto the pitch, ladies and gentlemen. West Ham have made their sub. It is Thomas Souček who has come onto the pitch. Second sub of the game. Don't know who for. Graphic hasn't told me. Paquetá. Okay, well. We're doubling down on the corner tactic. Went out of play. I won't even bother talking about what happens. It went out of play. Souček has come on for Paquetá. Yeah, I think for me personally, obviously I said at the beginning of the stream with Gonzo that I was Moyes in. I think that's a very difficult way to say it. I think Moyes in and Moyes out is two very specific camps, and everything in between is a bit more grey and difficult to define. I'm somewhere in the middle of that. I don't like David Moyes. I have never liked David Moyes. Everyone who's been here for a long time will know this. I don't like David Moyes. I don't like the football he plays. I don't think he's that particularly good as a manager. I don't like him that much as a person, if we're being honest about it. I hate the way he talks to the media. I don't like David Moyes. I didn't want him back. I didn't want him for the first time. I didn't want him to stay the first time. I didn't want him back the second time. But the reason I wouldn't say that I'm Moyes out, if we want to class it like that, is that we've been so good that... Thank you very much, Dean. Thank you very much. You've been around here long enough to have heard me rant about him many, many a time. But the reason I wouldn't say, if you want to word it in those terms, that I was Moyes out before today, is that he gave us two of the best seasons I've ever seen as a fan. He just did. He did. And I think we were lucky in there. I think there was a lot of... there was a lot of dumb things in there that sort of went our way that shouldn't have gone our way and everything else. But I can't act like he didn't. And I think because of that, he had time for me, you know? And when all of the things started going wrong this season, I sort of looked at it and went, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I have been saying for the last couple of years. Everything that people say about David Moyes now, I have said already. I have been done saying. That's just what I've always thought about David Moyes. But I felt like, do you know what? Fair enough. I will give him the time because of what he did previously. I'll give him that time to try and create something, to try and do something. Because the idea of us being in transition and him trying something different, I do believe all those things. I do. The problem is now we're now quite deep into the season. We're a couple of days from 2023. And today we have seen what I felt like he has wanted to do this entire time. We've seen the formation. We've seen sort of potentially where the personnel would be. I mean, realistically, you're looking at Skamaka and Bakatar, who we bought in the summer, as two big signings, the new striker that we've needed for ages and a ridiculously good midfielder. We've seen exactly what those two players would look like under David Moyes in the formation I think David Moyes would want to change to. We've seen it. And that ended up being 15 minutes of, quite fun, all right football, followed by a 2-0 loss to Brentford and nothing. And I think that has to be it. Personally, at this stage, I think that has to be it. I still think he'll get Leeds. Unless Brentford, at this point, unless Brentford score another one now or another two now, I think he stays. I think he stays until at least Leeds. And I'm not fuming about that. But if we lose again to Leeds, unless the performance is significantly better than this, because this has not been a good performance. It's not been a performance anywhere near as bad as we have been, but it's not a good performance. If we lose to Leeds and unless we put in some sort of worldy performance, then that's it. Yeah, his game has run. The time is done. David Moyes, thank you very much, but it's time to move on. Which is a shame because, like I said, he has genuinely given us two of the best seasons I have ever seen as a West Ham fan. More so than I could have even possibly imagined the first time he came in, or the second time he came in, or even partway through he was here. But realistically, but who that person is, I don't know, because there's a lot of names, and that's the bigger problem for me after that, is that the people who I think would be in line to come in, I do not want. So that's a different problem for a different time. I can't thank him enough for Europe. 46 years as a Hammer now. I've seen it all relegations managers come and go, but those 2 seasons, 7 in Europe, Ben. Yeah, but beautiful. It's exactly still no time for sentiments. That's where I'm at. Not 46 years as a Hammer. I don't quite have that wisdom that Dean has, unfortunately. Only 29, but there's lots of people I would have. There's lots of managers I would have. Unfortunately, I don't think any of them are options. Rice tries to bend it in straight into the hands of Raya. He overhits it anyway. It was going nowhere. He should have just let it out for a corner, being honest. For a goal kick. Elaine, he's not retired. He's got a lease of life in AEW. He's doing amazing work. He ain't retiring. Is he? Have I missed it again? I have been away from the internet for several days. You could say anything, and there is a chance I would believe it. But I can't imagine he would be. A little bit. West Ham coming forward down the left hand side. The ball was with Aaron Cresswell. He's got Ben Rama ahead of him. Finds him. Skamaka is there. Souček is coming in. Antonio's there. It gets played to Declan Rice. We're playing out wide. Guess what? The cross comes in behind Antonio. Can't quite make anything of it. It's going to land at the feet of Ben Rama, who does well. Ben Rama, I'll tell you what, has probably been our best player today. I think he's done all right. He'll get blamed in the post-match press conference somehow by David Moyes, but I think he's done all right today. Was it? Man. I was talking about him a couple of days ago with my uncle. What it's still weird thinking about him. It's still weird thinking about it, you know? Yeah, the thing is, yeah, Woody, I agree. Look, I'm giving you 5 mins, Brentford fan. Again, I don't mind you being here, but you're getting a bit too big for your boots at this point. Bit too big for your boot. Spamming a little bit, going a bit wild. So I'm just going to mute you for 5 minutes because I don't mind you being here, but it's just to kind of chill out. Ivan Toney is very down, by the way. Just to chill out sort of thing. Well, I saw 75 mil a year. Is that true? That is one thing I did see. That's one thing I did see. Ball gets played in. Ivan Toney goes down. I'm not really sure what happened, to be honest. Him and Dawson went up for it. God knows. It's a suicide mission. I wouldn't want to see it. I think ex-players becoming your manager is just too risky a proposition for me. It's one of those years. It's one of those things. Sorry, where you know, where realistically it can only go wrong. You know, so I know I'm happy with him in the position he's going to be in, and sort of is in already. But nah. 200 mil a year, 3.4 million a week. Oh, he goes down awkwardly. He lands awkwardly. Ivan Toney. It's nothing Craig Dawson does. He just lands awkwardly. He is in a crap ton of pain on his right knee. He's in a hell of a lot of pain in his right knee. Yeah, Ivan Toney's going to get taken off here. We have 4 minutes of added time, but a lot of this is going to be taken up by Ivan Toney. He's down very bad on his knee right now. Big spend doggy dog. Get him in. I'll tell you what, I follow him on TikTok. He's quite good on TikTok. I like Spencer. I can't act like I don't. I like Spencer. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The thing is, I don't think it will be because there's a lot of people around that I think our board would hire that are also free at the moment. Are they people I would want? No, already the stretch is coming out for Ivan Toney, by the way. He's in big trouble. But yeah, no. I don't think I can watch any more games under Moyes. It's too painful. Mark says, 58 years as a hammer. We are now too bad to stay up at the moment. Something needs to change quickly and start from the top down. Yeah. No real, you know. Like I say, it was 4 minutes of our time, but a lot of it was going to be taken up by Toney. I don't know how much more we'll play after this. To be honest, the referee could just blow his whistle now. Really not going to make that much difference. I won't ask for man of the match because, frankly, that feels like an insult. That feels like a bit of an insult, I'll be honest with you. While we wait for the game to reset after Ivan Toney, I'll say thank you, by the way. We got to 418 likes so far, which is insane. Like I say, we're playing with free money at that point, so go wild, do whatever. You know, we'll see what happens. But thank you very much. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos, because not only do we do watch-alongs every single game, and by the way, we were the only West Ham channel last year who did a watch-along for every single match without fail. And we've only missed 2 since we started doing watch-alongs in general. That's how dedicated we are. I was bleeding at the beginning of the stream, and I'm really ill. So the fact that I'm still here shows a dedication to the cause. You should definitely subscribe and hit that notification button, because also January is about to happen, which means it's going to be mad videos. Not only have you got all the Moyes stuff happening at the moment, that's going to be loads of videos about that, talking about any updates on what we get about David Moyes, that kind of stuff. We've got the January transfer window happening, where I don't think West Ham will be doing too much, but if there's any movement, you best believe we'll be covering it. But we've got a lot going on. And like the video, because like I said, we're over 400. It's a grand old time. It's a grand old time. Ivan Toney is going off on the little mobile stretcher, the little car stretcher. That looked really bad for him. As much as he's in trouble for betting, and that's not something I'm super keen on, not a great situation for him. I don't think we've been too bad in the second half, but the damage was already done and they were able to sit and absorb pressure. We never really looked like scoring. Bowen, man of the match with slim pickings. Yeah, I can agree with that. Ray, I saw you comment. I'm trying to find it. Ray, to pull it up. I can't see it. You asked when are we doing spanners. Hopefully Sunday. That's my plan currently, is Sunday. I'm going to ask Gonzo to be the guest. Hopefully Sunday. Because Gonzo said to me when he couldn't do the Christmas one to let him know and he could do the next one. So I'm hoping if I message him tonight and say, are you around Sunday for spanners, it makes it happen. If not, hopefully someone else. And once you get the Pocky box, we'll do that one as well. Whenever. But hopefully Sunday, Ray. I can't find your message. I tried to scroll through the chat, but I can't see it. Thank you. Thank you very much. They did do that and I put in all the effort. I agree. I strongly agree. It was on me. Oh, there you go. Perfect. What kind of times would be good for you? Would it be any time before 7? Or just any time in general? Because I know when you're at work, you tend to do it anyway. Let me know. 5 wins in 22. Jesus Christ. In 2022, sorry. Thanks, Geo. Appreciate that. Also, if you just heard me saying that I put in all the hard effort, we'll see how much extra time there is. I mean, all of it was taken up by Ivan Toney's knee, so we're over a minute plus of what we should have been. I mean, I really just... Like I said, it's big ball looking for... Like I said before, I said at the beginning of the stream that if you want to word it in those terms, I still would say that I was Moyes in. As much as I don't like David Moyes, I thought he deserved time. And then I looked at this and I went, oh my God, he's done something. We changed something. We've done something. At this point, I look at it and I say, you know, it's just done, innit? It's just done out here. It's just done out here. I don't think he'll go. I'll say this, I'm looking at it now. I don't think he'll go. I think he'll stay until Leeds. After Leeds, if we lose again against Leeds. If we lose against Leeds, the only way he stays, in my opinion, is if we have a really, really good performance. If we put in a really good performance but we lose, then I think he stays. If we lose against Leeds, then it becomes his position becomes super untenable. I was saying before the World Cup that I thought he had till the end of January. It could just be that thing where you talk about in the moment of the game where you're losing and everything feels worse and crap, that maybe that's it. But we've seen Antonio goes for it, deflects off the first man, of course. It could just feel like that, but I feel like that's probably what's going to happen. Whipped in, headed away. We're going to be very, very close to the final whistle here. There's barely anyone left in the stadium. There's barely anyone left. I turned up the volume to hear if we could see boos see if we can hear boos or not. But Antonio crossing is pathetic straight into the hands of Raya, and it's going to be surely full time any second now. But there's barely anyone left in the stadium. Make sure to stick around, by the way, because Geo Gonzo will be live in just a moment with their full-time review and reactions to the match. I'm not at this point. I'm not, Gary. Like I said, I'm not. I think the phrase "Moyes in, Moyes out" are very difficult things to say, and unless you're on one side or the other, there's a big moment in the middle, and that's grey, which is a lot more difficult. There's barely anyone left to boo. I can barely hear it. The full-time whistle's happened. It's end 2-0 Brentford. I think the idea, just to wrap up, while Geo and Gonzo are about to go live. I think the idea of Moyes in and Moyes out is a very difficult thing, because there's a massive grey area, in my opinion, where you can describe yourself as being sort of neither, and that's kind of where I'm at personally. I think that's all where I've been at. I don't like David Moyes. I never have liked David Moyes. I don't like his style of football. I don't think he's that good of a manager. But the fact he's given me the 2 best seasons I've ever seen as a West Ham fan meant to me I was willing to give him the time to try and develop this team, to try and transform it into something else. And honestly, I have believed he has tried to do something, but the problem is today we've sort of seen what that transformation was meant to be, and it gave us 15 minutes at the beginning where we looked kind of good, and at this point, nothing else after that, which is a shame because ultimately I feel like, there was something to be got at there. I think the first 15 minutes went well, but after that we were just awful, and you can't really say anything past that. So yeah. I think he'll be here to Leeds, but we'll find out what happens in that game together because we'll be doing a watch along for that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I would like to thank also GP, Michael, Danny, and then GP again because GP's a madman for the donations. Thank you. They go a massive, massive way to helping Hammers Chat. I cannot begin to describe to you how much they help. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video. We went flying today. We're at 464. We're at 464 right now. So we've been absolutely flying. And subscribe if you're new around here. Geo Gonzo will be live with their full-time review reaction video in just a second. But thank you for joining. I'll see you for the Leeds game, regardless of who's in charge. Until then, come on, you ads. Cheers, everyone. Bye, 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 bye.